ESPN College Football presented by McDonald's. A gorgeous afternoon here from Birmingham, the Magic City Classic, 77th running between Alabama A&M coming in at 3-4 on the year against the Hornets out of Alabama State with a record of 2-4 here as we are getting underway to kick it off from Legion Field. And Jay, you know, this classic is the largest HBCU classic in the country. We got a chance to tour around and see why. Your thoughts about what makes this classic so special?
Everything that you want. The pageantry, you know your neighbors, they all know each other, they're split with the schools, and you look at the series history of it. I think for the last 10 years, Alabama State should be up in this series 8-2, but it's 5-5 because they're so evenly matched. These programs know each other, they get up for it, the whole city, the bands get into it, everybody. You know, we were coming on the elevator, split households. Yeah. Husband went to Alabama State, wife went to Alabama A&M. It's like that throughout this whole area, and it's truly the most unique, special HBCU event in the country.
And what makes it all the more special, especially for Alabama State, is that they find themselves in the driver's seat right now in the SWAC East. They have an opportunity to continue to gun towards that SWAC championship, which will be played here in Birmingham in December. So the Hornets, coming off a win last year under their then interim head coach, Donald Hill-Ely, trying to follow it up this year, another first-year head coach on the other side with Connell Maynard.
Yeah, and the Alabama State needs this one. They had this signature win they had to have when they upset Alcorn State on the road. Now can they win out? They've only played 2 conference games. They have another 5 games on their schedule to play. If they can win all those games, they control their own destiny. They will be here for the SWAC championship. And Alabama A&M already has 2 conference losses, but it doesn't matter. All they want to do is beat Alabama State and win the Classic.
This rivalry dates back to 1924 when the Magic City Classic began, but they've met some few times before then. This is the 81st meeting between these 2 teams overall. So Alabama State won the toss. A&M elects to receive. And Hunter Hanson gets it underway. Gary Quarles takes it from inside his 5. He's got yardage, and he's got some room up ahead. Solid return to start things off for the Bulldogs.
And in the pregame during the coin toss, the teams didn't even shake each other's hands. That's how intense it is. So I think whichever team can settle down and play football, not get the unnecessary roughness penalties, personal fouls, they'll have a chance at having success.
Lakeil Glass coming out for Alabama A&M, their sophomore quarterback out of St. Louis, Missouri.
Big kid, nice size on him, strong arm, and really playing some of his best football under first-year head coach Connell Maynard, who was a quarterback himself in college and arena football.
2-time MEAC Player of the Year at North Carolina A&T. The handoff to Walters, Trayvon Walters, with the solid carry. So they have great field position set up by that 41-yard kickoff return from Quarles. And you see Walters there averaging just about 7 yards per carry to go along with that. 4 touchdowns on the season for the junior.
Yeah, a little surprised to see Walters get the start over Jordan Bentley. Bentley's been their mainstay running back, but Walters has emerged as a nice complementary running back to the style of play for Alabama A&M.
Walters set behind Glass. Glass once again with the handoff. Walters trying to go left and nowhere to go. He was met quickly by Darren Johnson. Some laundry on the field early on. Our head officials for today's game, Eddie Kelly and crew.
Offense, number 75, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
There was a penalty on the play, but Darren Johnson, number 46 for Alabama State, he's a playmaker. Fast. He was shot out of a cannon and got into that backfield. And the thing that I didn't really see from Alabama A&M watching their film, their offensive line play. At times it could look atrocious. Their offensive line is going to have to step up and play big in today's game, protecting the quarterback, not getting penalties, and allowing the running backs to have some lanes to get some rushing yards.
Shanye Reams, number 75 in maroon, sitting at left tackle. Their best big man up front. And a whistle before the play.
Offense, number 4. 9-yard penalty. Second down.
And you're moving backward after, again, a solid return. Connell Manor not too pleased with that from his team.
They've got to settle down. But take a look at some of the people that are going to have to be big in this game. I think it all starts in the middle, and you'll see right here. Big fella in the middle, Christian Clark. Watch him. He's a load there. Run stopper. 377 pounds.
Wow. And can move. Walters is stood up in the backfield by a bevy of white jerseys. And Lucky Owoye was the first one there.
Christian Clark, I talked about him, big 94, 377-pound run stopper. Darren Johnson, love the way he plays. Jordan Bentley's got to have his leadership and experience in this game. And Brian Jenkins Jr., true freshman, has emerged as the best wide receiver for this Bulldog offense this season.
Now 3rd down and 21, and not a lot to go to in your playbook if you're Alabama A&M. Empty backfield for Glass. 5 receivers set. And he finds his man, but just through the hands of Terrell Gardner. So that'll bring up 4th down and the punting unit on for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, wide open wide receiver. You have to make that catch. But that's a disappointing start after getting a nice kickoff return. They had some momentum, some energy. Then the penalties came, slowed them down, and now they're going to put the ball back away to Alabama State.
So Joshua Hill back to return the punt for the Hornets. Junior out of Pritchard, Alabama. Corey, who's had a 60-yarder already this season, punts that one right into the hands of Hill. Hill could not escape, got to the 30-yard line and then dragged back by Abram Jones. So take a look at the SWAC standings. You see on the West right now, Southern on top with 3 wins, just 1 loss, and Alcorn State leading the way in the East. Their lone loss once again this season to Alabama State.
Yeah, and that's what it is. They've got a 2-4 record, Alabama State, but that one victory they had, which was huge over Alcorn. The West is just wild. Wild West of the SWAC.
It's up for grabs, and Kadaris Davis in the backfield now, under center, or at shotgun, out of Bessemer, Alabama. And Davis, the redshirt sophomore, takes it in before the offense can get anything going. We've got a penalty flag.
Timeout.
Oh, a timeout taken.
First play of the game, really?
Timeout.
I mean, that's what I say, the distractions. The team that can settle down and just start playing football and realize, hey, it doesn't have to be a big rivalry game. It's just a football game. They'll have a greater chance of success. And both teams coming out here looking a little shaky early on.
But, Jay, you've been able to play in some big games, obviously, during your time at Howard and then on to the NFL. I mean, when you're taking in a classic such as this and knowing that all eyes are on you, the entire state of Alabama is watching you as well, how difficult is it to block those distractions?
I mean, during the week, it's your preparation. That's the head coach's job, to not allow the players to get distracted. But you expect them to get a little chippy on the field. But at the end of the day, know your job, know your role. So I think you have to block all that stuff out and realize once you normally get hit, you know, like Mike Tyson used to say, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face. So I think in football, once you get hit, you're like, okay, we're in a football game, let's go. Not about who can talk the most trash and who knows this person.
Alex Anderson lined up in the backfield with Davis. And Davis flanks it out to Islam Salim, and Salim gets some good yardage on first down, brought down by Amari Holloway, one of the 2 twins for the Bulldogs in that secondary, on that defense rather. And quick tempo here from the Hornets.
That's what they like to do, up tempo, and this offense goes through the quarterback position in Davis. As he goes, they go.
Second and 4 coming up for ASU.
Davis had a decent showing last week in their loss against South Alabama, just over 100 yards passing. Once again, And this time dropped by Wallace Corker. Corker had first down yardage, but it goes right through his hands. As we take a look at some of the impact players on offense, you got to start up front. The big man, Titus Howard, up the O-line.
Titus Howard, NFL prospect. He'll be a high NFL draft pick at that left tackle position. Ezra Gray, we don't know his status, if he can play or not. He's an impact guy. They need him. Uric Bethune, also defensive lineman with a high motor, relentless. And one of the twins, Armani Holloway, look for him to try and make an impact as they try and do some unique things with him in the blitz game.
Here's Davis, finds this man Corker, this time holds on to it and is near midfield and then dragged down, picks up the first down. There's Holloway in on the tackle. That's Armani Holloway.
Yeah, nice third down protection. If you want to complete the ball downfield, let's take a look at the protection there. Nice pocket. You see Titus Howard not letting this guy get close. You give a quarterback a clean pocket like that, they should hurt you.
That 13-yard gain moves the sticks. And so a semi-quiet start here from the Magic City Classic. More folks will continue to file in. Meanwhile, Davis rolls out the pocket, going for it, finds his man. Nothing but real estate right there. And Tyreek Allen with a huge catch. He's already had 3 touchdowns this season, and he is a big gainer for this group. 32 yards on that reception.
And once again, they can use the vertical passing game downfield because they have good time protecting their quarterback. See, he's just going to a soft spot. He's not flushed out. That's still a long time. Gives the wide receivers plenty of time to get open downfield. And Alabama State's already in the red zone.
Electing to pass the last couple of plays. Now with Taliesin Farmer in the backfield and quickly out to Salim. And Salim tries to find the edge and is quickly pushed out of bounds by Ramel Fields. And so you see perhaps the game plan with Ezra Gray not in talking about being an impact player, with him not perhaps 100% and ready to go. We see Donald Hill-Healy and his group opting to this pass game. That's right.
The ball. I like the adjustment.
We see a lot of options out of Mark Orlando's offense, the offensive coordinator for the Hornets. Now down in the red zone. 2nd and 5. Davis in dangerous traffic, pops out of the hand of one receiver and brought down by another. It's Wallace Corker who comes up with it, just bounced into his hands, and he's really been the most consistent, rather Larry Brown instead with that reception.
Yeah, trying to squeeze that ball in a tight window, and that ball's up for grabs, and a great job by Larry Brown, the tight end, recognizing that ball is in play and holds on to it with those nice firm hands, and defensive backs aren't going to take the ball away from the tight end.
Yeah, Corker had his hand on it first, tipped it up, and then his teammate Brown corralled it.
Oh, no.
RPO option, and Uric Bethune, again, one of those impact players up front. The senior from Mobile brought him down.
Didn't I tell you he could play?
Yeah.
He can play, and you tried to fool him, and watch him change directions. You're reading off of Uric Bethune. He's inside. I tricked you. Gotcha. I didn't fall for the fake. Did his assignment. Takes down Davis easily in the backfield.
When you've got an NFL prospect on one side for Alabama State, but several scouts are looking at Uric Bethune for the Bulldogs.
Please refrain from playing when the team is coming to the line of scrimmage. Thank you.
I like that. Let's call that like one of those HBCU warnings. You know, when both bands want to play, well, you have to respect the other team. When they have the ball, you can't play. And the Alabama A&M band was given a warning for playing while Alabama State was breaking the huddle.
This is a rivalry. You know they don't care nothing about that right now, Jay.
The band think it's all about them, don't
That's right. The handoff to Taliesin Farmer. Farmer had a big hole up front. Dylan Hamilton brings him down, but a marker out on the field.
Hold it. Offense, number 75. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
That's a tough one there, but I really like the seal block you're going to see from your tight end, number 82. Take a look at Moses Marshall. Get him right there. That gave you the lane that you needed. The block by the right tackle, DeAndre Brown, was a little bit unnecessary. And that's going to come back, which was a nicely executed play.
So that brings up 2nd and goal. Now from the 15-yard line for Alabama State.
Looking over to Mark Orlando now, this little modified up-tempo offense. Get to the line of scrimmage and figure out which play the defense is giving you from a pre-snap look.
Farmer, once again, the handoff. This time he stays on his feet just near the 6-yard line. He's brought down by Armani Holloway.
I think what they're deciding to do is if they're going to keep Uric Bethune on the right side, which is the left side of the offense, and they're going to run the ball to the right. They're running away from Bethune. There is a drop-off after Uric Bethune on the defensive line for Alabama A&M, and Alabama State doing a good job of running away from Uric Bethune.
9-yard gain. That sets up 3rd and goal from the 6. Man in motion is Moses Marshall. Rolling out to his left, hit as he throws, and Davis can't complete the pass to Salim. Big hit there from Holloway, rushing him out the pocket.
And that's that blitz package. When I talked to their defensive coordinator, Mark Bessiane, told me we're going to get Holloway involved with some blitzes. We saw some things in their protection, and you see the quarterback did not have enough time to hold on to the ball. Nice job of pursuit by Armani Holloway.
So that brings on Hunter Hansen, the kicker, onto the attempt, the 23-yarder. Hansen out of Montgomery, where Alabama State is based. Low snap. And it's no good. So an easy 23-yarder right there, and Hansen is none too happy. After a great opportunity for the Hornets to get on the board, the Bulldogs hold.
You're Bear, like a pro. We couldn't agree more. We are professional grade. GMC.
ESPN College Football is presented by McDonald's.
Well, look, the Magic City Classic brings out the best. We're looking at some of the former celebrity ambassadors that have rolled through Birmingham: Steve Harvey, Sinbad, Magic Johnson, Ricky Smiley, you name it. If somebody's a who's who, they've come through.
I'll enjoy the Star Watch, as I like to call it. You have to have Magic Johnson at the Magic City Classic.
Yeah.
It's
only right. It's only right. It's only right. And Walters bottled up. But you go back to that 23-yard missed field goal attempt. It all starts with Garrett Johnson.
Yeah, of course, they're going to blame the kicker for it, but it's the timing of it. And, you know, when you don't have a good, clean snap and hold, it throws off the timing. And that's really not the kicker's fault. That goes on the long snapper and the holder not getting the ball down in time.
Garrett Shelton, the long snapper, Anthony Craven, the holder, and a quick pass out.
So let's go back and take a look at that time we're talking about. Watch where this ball just skips along the turf, gets pinned on his knee. The kicker's already going through his motion. He tries to hold up a little bit, doesn't kick all the way through because it was off, and that's how you shank a 23-yard field goal attempt.
Two quick plays for Alabama A&M brings up 3rd and 8 from the 20. And Glass, play action. Going up and trying to get it was Zabrion Moore, but it went through his hand, so that brings up 4th down.
And we can tell right now, watching Akil Glass play, he's hyped up to play in this game. I mean, he's a little juiced up right now. The sophomore, everything is coming out one speed, hard. And as a quarterback, when you throw everything so hard, you tend to lose your accuracy a little bit. So he's been missing the target a little bit, and that's why this offense hasn't been able to pick up a first down yet.
Spencer Corey on for the punt. And Hill will just watch it roll. We'll step aside from Birmingham for the 77th annual Magic City Classic. Kick off your Week 8 NFL Sunday with ESPN at 10 a.m. Eastern. Sam and the guys, our Sunday NFL Countdown crew, will have all the early breaking stories, injury updates, and preview each game right up to kickoff. And like everything else, it's live and available on the ESPN app, so you can watch it anywhere. Back here, both teams still knotted at 0, 5:24 to go in the opening quarter from the 77th annual Magic City Classic. Alabama State on their second offensive possession. Alex Anderson with the carry. Picked up just about 5, brought down by Desmond Fletcher.
That was such an impressive opening drive that Alabama State had. Not great opportunity to put points on the board. Got down into the red zone, and what they have to do is continue those creative things they were doing with the football. I like to see them keep throwing the ball down the field until Alabama A&M shows you that they can stop your wide receivers from getting open.
One of the things that is signature for Mark Orlando and his offense, very creative, likes to mix things up quite a bit. We saw that, as you mentioned, Jay, on that first drive. Let's see what they have to offer here the second time around.
Uh-oh.
A little confusion in the backfield. The handoff was supposed to go to the left, or so Davis thought. Instead, he has to keep it himself and runs into a bunch of jerseys brought down by Tim White.
Not a good sign when you're the quarterback and you're looking to give the ball to the running back and he's behind you. Watch the quarterback go to his left. Anderson's going to his right. Duck incoming.
Kadarius Davis making just his third career start for Alabama State. He got his first one against Alcorn State in that huge win over the Braves and took him down the field. Had a touchdown on his first drive and his first career start. Here's some pressure. Broughton just lofting it up in the air, and a huge hit as Davis goes down, slow to get up. So the Bulldogs, Johnny on the spot to bring that pressure.
Yeah, nice pressure here. And they've got a blitz package that they're going to use, and you're going to see him just make a beeline to the pocket and get there. They've got to pick him up. That's a mental error. Untouched to the quarterback. Cannot allow that to happen. And I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. Talk to the defensive coordinator, Mark Bastiani. And he told me, I see some things, Jay. I'm going to be able to get to that quarterback. And right away, we've seen it with Holloway, and then we just saw it on the last play.
Quantravis Kelly was number 36, bringing the pressure. And Brian Jenkins, woo! Brought down quickly. The Hornets great on Alabama State. Punt coverage, doing his job. Miles Thomas taking down the Bulldogs deep into their own territory. They're coming back on offense when you come back.
Chicken farming is a tough business. I don't know how Vaughn does it.
Let me tell you about the sign of a good time. Some burnt ends, some rib tips. You got to have that barbecue on the grill. Feeling real nice. Jay, did you have a sampling of that already?
I'm so tired of eating. Listen, I've been there
you
since
said
Wednesday.
You're tired of eating.
Tired of eating, man. The biggest tailgate I've seen. This is probably the largest tailgate in the college football landscape.
Oh, it's something special. Quick pass out to Octavius Miles, and Miles with the reception. So trying to get it out from deep in their own territory. Brings up second down.
And I want to see what Alabama A&M does. You've had the ball on a couple series now, yet to pick up a first down. But Connor Maynard normally does a good job of calling the plays from down there on the field and gets a sense of what the defense is trying to do. And let's see what he tries to exploit against Alabama State.
The throw out to David Carlisle, and Carlisle picks up the first down and more. So Glass trying to get into a rhythm. Once again brought down by Romello Webster. And Connell Maynard's first season as head coach at Alabama A&M, heading over to the SWAC after spending some time in the MEAC with Hampton, who's now moved over to the Big South. And Nathan Dell quickly wrapped up in the backfield by Damon Williams. And Williams can be a force, one of those freshmen on the defensive side for the Hornets out of Cleveland, Ohio.
You had all those guys that came from that Glenville school, the academy up there, Ted Ginn and Damon Williams and Christian Clark, the big run stoppers from up there. A number of guys that came from Cleveland down here, and Don Hill says, hey, they do a good job of coaching them there. It's my job to make them better football players and graduate them. And so far, they've been able to do that.
Glass standing in the pocket, eyes his man, and great throw as Dell with the reception. A freshman out of Daytona Beach, went to Mainland High School, and they feel really high on this kid.
I like the vision for Akil Glass, right? He's got some duress around him, right? But look at his eyes as he stay focused downfield, step up in the pocket, feel the pressure. Nice little simple throw across in the middle in stride.
Once again, another completion. Miles once more. And Jay, you mentioned he was throwing at one speed, probably because he was nervous. But on that last pass, he had a nice little touch on it.
Nice speed on the ball, catchable ball. And anytime you got a receiver running a crossing route in front of you, you can't throw it hard. You have to ramp it down a little bit so they can make the catch and run after it. And he's starting to settle down a little bit.
You see last year versus this year, feeling much more comfortable in the pocket. He's certainly a pure passer. He's one of those guys who's just turned it around and trying to find the touch there off the helmet of the defender. It just bounces off of Dennis Roberts' helmet.
And that right there, that's a Connell Maynard type of call. He knows this stuff. He'll figure out something, bait you with the little, think it's a toss sweep. The receiver's open. You just got to get it to him. He gets behind the secondary. And fortunately for Alabama State, Dennis Roberts, the nickelback, the ball hit him off his helmet. That's an open receiver. You got to put that ball out there and let him go get it.
Glass now being replaced by Dylan Smith on this play. Smith, the junior, with the handoff. And the Jordan Bentley, we're finally getting a chance to see that young man, an ultimate team player, kind of a leader, especially on the offensive side for the Bulldogs.
How about that? Bentley gets the ball, gets into the game, helmet comes off on the first carry, has to go to the sideline.
And so far, Akil Glass, 5 for 8, 34 yards for the game.
Empty backfield. They're not sure they're going to bring any pressure, so he should have time to get this pass off, see if the offensive line can protect.
3rd and 9 with under a minute to go in this first quarter. And dangerous throw kind of led him right into Keenan Isaac's hands, as Miles was the intended receiver. So just as Glass was starting to feel a little bit rhythm and move the ball with the Bulldogs, it brings up 4th and 9. They've got to punt it away.
Yeah, there's a miscommunication on that last play. They didn't like the decision he made where to go with the football. And not only was Coach Maynard on it, but the offensive coordinator, Dwayne Taylor, had some words for him as well.
Fair catch by Hill. And the Hornets will set it up at the 25 with a 35-yard punt, but there is a penalty flag. So Connell Maynard in his first season with Alabama A&M, record at 3-4, and he said, look, this is a group that's going to get something going. Great opportunity here. Here's the call.
First down.
So they waved off the flag, and you see the clock running right now. They'll probably have to put some time back on it before the first quarter comes to an end.
Clock operator, please, we put 26 seconds on the clock. 26 seconds.
See, the clock operator really wants to take in all that Magic City has to offer. It's the classic. So, I mean, the football game is important. Certainly this is what everyone is focusing in on at this point in time, but there is so much else that goes on around it.
You
But they're
looking
just
forward
like,
to Gucci
I'm
Mane?
trying to kick it. Yeah, post-game
Post-game
concert with Gucci
in
Mane.
the stadium for free in the end zone with Gucci Mane. They come out to support their squads.
Absolutely. Davis with the handoff up to Anderson, and Anderson some powerful running up ahead. He's a bruiser. He's been under the weather the last couple of games. Feel like he's back to 100% and healthy, and he's ready to go. And when you see him, man, he is a grown man.
Yeah, he's put together, and he's a guy that's going to run in between the tackles. And, you know, he's had a nice career in Montgomery, but they started liking Ezra Gray. And Ezra Gray had that explosive factor. I call it that everybody wants to get a new Tariq Cohen, and that was their Ezra Gray. But Alex Anderson's a nice bruising running back as well.
That is it. On the first
Well,
quarter.
that brings the first quarter to a close. We're scoreless here from Birmingham for the Magic City Classic. Jay, you said you were tired of eating before our viewers finish watching this broadcast. They're going to be tired of eating, or they're going to go to the fridge, the grill, and get them some grub. Yeah, there's just plenty. You just don't even know what to do with it. It's just so much. It's just so much. Like everything here from the Magic City Classic here in Birmingham, the 77th running of it, the highest attended FCS game.
That's what I'm talking
in
about right
the
there.
nation
That's
last year.
big. That deserves a circle. You can circle that one there. And the $18 million that they bring into the city, that's all right. But no other FCS game, not HBCU period, it's a better draw than this one on an annual basis.
And the longest rivalry in the state of Alabama, as Joe Williams with the completion. You think, you know, we're in the state of Alabama, so of course everyone naturally thinks the Iron Bowl, Alabama and Auburn, but this is the longest standing rivalry between two schools in the
state. And you
state.
know what's ironic? Like for the past 5 years, every time that the Classic's been played, Alabama's had a bye week that week. So Bama's not playing this week.
Right.
They're off. So I think they kind of realize we don't compete with the Classic. You know, not enough RVs in the state of Alabama or barbecue grills.
I have never seen so many RVs before in my life in one area, outside of like the lot where you go to buy one.
They pack it. They take their RV tailgate serious, and for me, it's been an experience to live in the parking lot. The one game a year where I actually live out there with the fans, enjoy it, meet the neighbors, get the culture, take it all in. It's honestly the best time that I can have in a college football game.
Alabama State with the timeout, and I got a chance to see it for the first time, just taking it all in. You took me around on the golf cart, and it was just like everybody
going and going.
And they would say
going.
like everybody and their mama.
Everybody and their mama out there, and mama there too, and
That's
auntie
right.
too. And let's just keep going and hospitable. And like I said, they start tailgating here on Tuesday.
Yeah.
They get your pass on Monday, you move it in on Tuesday. Hey, grills are being revved up.
Donald Hill-Ely told us earlier this week just about, you know, what this experience was like. He was promoted to the interim head coach position last year, midway through the season after 5 games, and then he comes into a setting like this, and all the alumni and fan base are like, but you got to beat Alabama.
You got to win the Classic. We like you, but you better win the Classic.
And he was able to do so, but he said, when you come in here, all you're going to do is see a whole bunch of smoke, bunch of RVs, and a great time. As 3rd and 2 now for the Hornets. They try to extend this possession out of the timeout. And the handoff to Anderson, and the Bulldogs not fooled at all.
That's a misassignment. You cannot have number 47, Zach Oglesby, the starting defensive end, unblocked. He just chased down the ball carrier behind the line of scrimmage. Good job of recognition by Oglesby, and that's the concern for Alabama State. They came out with a nice, impressive drive, but this is an offense that only averages 13.8 points a game. So points are at a premium, and they missed an opportunity to get 3, possibly 7 on the opening drive, and now the offense is starting to play like an offense that averages 13.8 points a game. Look at that. They got lucky
Tough
there again.
snap there once more.
Shanked it.
So Alabama A&M will have the ball after that 23-yard punt here from Legion Field.
And shred hate.
Our Week 8 Monday Night Football matchup has Tom Brady and the Patriots in Buffalo to take on the Bills. Brady is 28-3 against Buffalo, while the Bills have had 17 different quarterbacks since 2001. You can catch it 8:15 Eastern on ESPN, also simulcast on ESPN2 in Spanish, and available on the ESPN app so you can watch it everywhere. Our coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown at 6. Alabama A&M, you see their first 3 drives not gotten anywhere. 3 punts as a result.
Ugly, low-scoring game. If we can keep it low-scoring, advantage Alabama State. But you have to think A&M, a little bit surprised. They came in here with the better offense. It has not been on display here so far.
And third quarterback that we've seen this afternoon take a snap is Josh Cartwright with the handoff to Jordan Bentley, and Bentley with a solid run on first down. That'll kickstart an offense for you. Karan Ramsey in on the tackle.
He was my impact player for a reason. He's a guy that's proven, battle-tested, was the SWAC Rookie of the Year his first year as a freshman. And he's a guy that he's going to play steady, dependable, durable, and he can be a spark for him.
Another handoff to Bentley. Didn't get as far as he did on that first possession.
But that's what you like about him. That was a boring play.
Yeah.
But he picked up 4 yards. You'll take that all day. It wasn't a sexy 4 yards, but it was a boring 4 yards. But on first down, every offensive coordinator in the country will take that.
Here, Cartwright stays in, just tries to dish it out on the perimeter and through the hands of Gary Quarles. That brings up 3rd and 6. So Josh Cartwright.
This is a surprise.
A huge surprise. He had only played limited time this season out of Miami, was 1 for 2, and now the switch out as Akil Glass trotting back onto the field. Well, you see the flag down. A great catch by Marcellus Clash. Likely going to come back, not count at all, as the flag came down just as the snap. Looked like there was some confusion up front from the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I think they were tricking him. They thought they had him offsides, but somebody moved. And once the offensive player moves, and that's play over.
I'll start. Offense, number 4. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
On number 4.
He came.
So that's the quarterback. So let's see.
He tried to fake and act like they tried to design that schematically, but you cannot be moving as a quarterback when you get the snap in the shotgun. You have to be set at a pause. So good job by the officials catching that.
So 5 receivers set, empty backfield. Glass looks over. Stands in and finds more out of Tuscaloosa. But some laundry on the field once more. Well, this officials crew has been busy thus far, and we haven't even made it to halftime yet, Jay.
Just starting the second quarter for all intents and purposes, but that's why it hasn't been a lot of flow into this game, and either team really able to establish the type of successful drive.
It's in a foul. Face mask. Defense, number 10. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Well, bailout from Alabama State with that penalty. Moves the ball inside the red zone and gives a fresh set of downs for Alabama A&M.
A&M, their first opportunity in the red zone, and see what they can dial up.
Glass with nowhere to go. Looked like there was some confusion, and then just heaving himself onto Glass was Damon Williams.
And this is some miscommunication. I'm not sure if they knew exactly where they were going with this one, but it's supposed to be a misdirection screen, but not enough blocking right there. The turn comes around and didn't fool anybody as the young freshman, Damon Williams, does a great job.
That's a 7-yard loss from that sack from Williams. So that backs up the Bulldogs. It's a 2nd and 17. Glass finds his man, Nathan Dell, for the touchdown. You see the separation created by Dell, and Glass put it there on the money. Well, that'll get some fans going in the stands as the Bulldogs put up 6. We'll see if he can tack on the extra point.
When Nathaniel Dale's that secret weapon that they talked about, they knew they had at their disposal. Only the 3rd game that he's played this season, will probably redshirt, but he's a special player. He's their most talented guy from a skill set perspective, and he shows you right there with easy separation as they go for the big play to get on the board.
So Alabama A&M brings their fans to their feet with that touchdown, and they get on the board first. It's 7-0.
Yeah, I mean, perfectly thrown ball. And great job by Dell getting his legs down, getting the footed in there, and that's what they needed to see.
You know, Nathaniel Dale just wanted to put on a show because we have a very special guest in the booth. One of the ambassadors, the ambassador for this Magic City Classic this time around, and Mr. Don Cheadle, award-winning actor and director. He does it all, and we talked about some of the high-profile names that have come through here. To add your name to your list, what's this experience been like for you?
It's been amazing. The city has really opened its arms, and the parade was amazing this morning, and then we got to go by the 16th Street Church, and that was very inspiring and humbling. So it's just been a great experience so far. I got some chitlins that somebody made for me, homemade. So I'm straight.
I was going to say,
it's been great for me.
You tired of eating yet? Because I'm sure you've been offered up everything.
Well, the schedule has been a bit arduous. I will not, I'll tell the truth about that. But they've managed to take care of me. I've been hydrated, so I'm pretty good.
So you heard about the Magic City Classic. So once you get here and experience it, is it what you thought, about what you expected, didn't live up to expectations, exceeded expectations?
Well, I'd say the tailgate was bananas. Just coming through that parking lot and with all those smells, I wanted to stop a few times. But we did a lot of good work. I'm out here with Woke Vote, and we were walking through the parking lot and getting people committed to show up at the polls on the 6th, which is incredibly important. And I'm just glad to have the opportunity to come out here and see it firsthand. My first time to the city, so it's pretty amazing.
Now, Tiff and I, we were talking. We knew you were going to come up here, so we were talking about favorite roles out there. We had a little debate. So, what do you think my favorite role is? Now, I'm a former athlete here, and I'm a West Coast guy, too. Hint, hint. Born and raised in L.A. Born and raised in L.A., so what do you think my favorite role might have been?
Well, I would have said it was GOAT when you went athlete, but no.
No, not GOAT.
Probably not. Oh, man. L.A. is the clue?
Yep.
L.A. and athlete is the clue?
Not athlete, just L.A. Little West Coast vibe.
It's not. Is it colors? It can't be colors.
I'm going Devil in the Blue Dress.
Oh, okay.
Mouse.
I was going to say mouse.
I like mouse.
Have you said, you had a penchant for being a little violent? I would say, yes, mouse.
I like mouse. What'd you say? If you didn't want him dead, why'd you leave him with me?
Why'd you leave him with me?
And Tiff, your favorite?
See, I'm going with Hotel Rwanda. I feel like that was a stirring role.
Yes, educational.
It brought me to tears every time I watch that movie. And it's not one that you really want to go back and watch all the time, but it is one that I can appreciate each time I see it. You also did Rosewood, right?
Yes, I did.
And so I'm from Florida, so just driving through there and understanding it, that was a hard movie to even get through just because of the history and the context with it. But you also do some fun stuff as Alabama State trying to move the ball. That's near first down yardage, and I think they may have picked it up. They may have to come out and measure, but among your favorite, because I think everybody asks you this question, like, oh, what was your favorite? You have the Oceans, series and the Marvel projects. I mean, for you, what is it?
It would be very hard to pick one. I could say that I'm very fortunate and very blessed to have been in a lot of projects that I think are very quality. and made a lot of great friends and have these sort of nuclear families that now we've all are in each other's lives. So it's hard to pick one. I tend to love the one that I'm with at the moment, but
what about the check? It doesn't matter. The checks have nothing to do about favorite roles too.
The great thing is that really, if you do what you love, for me anyway, I know it's not for everyone, but I know when I do what I love, that just kind of takes care of itself. And I had a very frugal parentage, so they taught me how to save well. If I made $100, I spent 10 and put 90 in the bank. So when I've been doing that since I'm young, it kind of just worked out. And now the kids are out of college. Last year my daughter's in her last year, so I can start buying toys, I guess. No, because actually they're moving home. Let's be honest.
Okay, so word on the street is you played saxophone.
Yes.
In high school.
Did.
But also do a little drumming. So are you going to make sure you stick around for the halftime show?
Oh, most definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely.
And let me give you some advice. Now, the fans will try and bait you. They're going to ask you who won the Battle of the Bands.
Yes.
Don't answer that question.
Oh, that's the trap. That's the trap. Don't get caught in the trap.
Yes. You're going to see two of the best in Black College performing at halftime.
I'll just say they both showed and proved, right?
There you go.
We appreciate your time. Thank you so much. As Don Cheadle has spent some great time with us, Magic City Classic ambassador for 2018. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Great to be with you guys.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Man wide open. Tyreek Allen down the sideline. Ladies and gentlemen.
When Don comes in the booth and we start getting the excitement. Yeah. We brought the star power in, and then they started having the fireworks fly. You want to talk about it, Don? You want to talk? Get on the headset.
We're going to let you
He's gonna describe this play to me, Don. What do you see here?
Well, obviously the young man gets free on the sideline. Oh, he almost tiptoed it in and made it. But what a great arm on this kid. Boom.
See, that's what you don't see. See, the quarterback getting leveled by a 300-pound guy.
That has to. He has
you
to stay
followed
in
the
there.
football. You followed the football like most fans do, but
like
I'm looking at the hit.
Look, he was supposed to stand in there and take that. Oh, look, he's moving it again. Move the chains. Oh, no, okay.
Now, what do you like? What teams do you follow? What's your favorite sport? Do you have a team you follow in particular that you get excited about?
Well, I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, so I got to watch the Chiefs.
Yeah,
you like
Patrick Mahomes right now.
Patrick Mahomes, man. He's a dude.
So he didn't like him 2 years ago, but now they're hot. Mahomes got him loving. Now you like the Chiefs.
College did. What are you talking about?
I've liked them forever, but then I moved to Denver, so I have this sort of AFC, conflict within myself. But if they play each other, I always cheer for the Chiefs.
Now, is that now, saying you're from Kansas City, what about that? What about that barbecue there? Is that Gates as good as they say it is?
Now, you know how they tell you not to say which band is better?
Yes.
There's also a barbecue debate which you should not enter into.
Because Arthur Bryan is there as
Correct.
well.
Okay.
So you got to, okay.
I want to get fed free by each of them when I go back.
Okay.
Real talk. Let's see if you can talk us through this drive. I mean, if there's a touchdown call, we're going to hand it over to you. 9th play of this drive for Alabama State coming up, if you don't mind. I know we put you in this precarious situation. And
look at all the stats. Look at all the names. I got like
you just call what you see. That's the beauty of it. You just call what you see, and then we'll fill in the blanks.
Well, I think they need to actually try to institute a run play now. I think they're going to jump on these routes if they. Oh, no, he's going to fire it again.
So Davis finding his man once more. It's Allen.
Free.
And Allen brought down near the 10-yard line for the 4-yard gain.
10th drive of the play. They're keeping it alive.
Yeah, and this is an offense that only averages 14 points a game, Don, so they really need to score.
And
the points come at a premium for them.
And I think the defense is sucking air right now. They haven't switched anybody out. This hurry-up offense is keeping them on their toes.
That's what they do. That's a good analysis. Yeah. Alabama State is up-tempo. They like to step on the gas pedal, not let you substitute. So you picked up on that right away.
Jay, you better watch out.
Hey,
I mean, you can do it all.
We can switch checks too.
One of my favorite, but also
Jay's watching the quarterback get leveled. I'm trying to see the scores. Swings out to the right.
Davis moved out of the pocket. Dangerous throw. There was a man on top and underneath, and Dylan Hamilton got his hand on it.
Yeah, it's one of those balls where he's very fortunate it wasn't intercepted. As he leaves the pocket here, good job escaping, but you can't throw back across your body. He's trying to go from right to left on the run. You lose accuracy when you do that. Very fortunate that ball was not intercepted by Dylan Hamilton.
Mahomes can do it.
Well, that's Mahomes.
he can even throw it left-handed. All right, Don.
Now you see why Mahomes is so special.
Look, we have held you up long enough. We appreciate you coming up here and hanging in the overtime little session with us as well.
There we go. Now there's a substitution. This is what I'm talking about. Let's get some fresh legs in the defense.
Here comes the blitz. They picked it up.
Davis with some real estate ahead of him.
He
Ball
fumbles
pop
on the
loose
1 yard line.
just on the 1 yard line. Huge play for the Bulldogs. Romel Fields recovers the fumble. And Jay, you said it, Amani Holloway, one of those impact players, he did the darn thing. Don, take us to break.
Come on, here we go. We're going to move to break, but what an exciting play to go on. Alabama. Here we go, guys. Do your thing. Alabama A&M. Oh, and he makes him cough it up, recovers on the 1 yard line. People do not change your channels.
Let's go take a look at that last play with the turnover there. And you're going to see number 20, Amani Holloway, and Dylan Hamilton foul the quarterback, turns his back on the defense, which is a bad thing to do as a quarterback. And there for the recovery, Romel Fields. Great play by the Alabama A&M Bulldog defense. And that's a lesson you have to learn as a quarterback. You don't turn your back to the defense, particularly in the red zone.
See the Dogs on defense this season, where they rank within the FCS, tied for 5th and 4th downs. And now the Bulldogs working nearly out of their end zone, trying to move this one as they're up 7-0 over Alabama State.
And right now, if I'm Alabama A&M, I'm giving the ball to Jordan Bentley. You know, you're down here, backed up. You need to pick up a couple yards so you can secure getting the punt attempt. And Bentley's that guy. He's got that forward lean. He doesn't get tackled behind the line of scrimmage too often. Always a little dangerous when you're taking shotgun snaps in your end zone, 5 yards deep.
Glass trying to toss it out of there. Do you like these two play calls on 1st and 2nd down with passing it instead of running it?
Yeah, I thought you need to run in order to get some yardage. And then once you pick up 3 or 4 yards, then you can go ahead and try and throw for the first down. Well, this situation now, I think you almost have to run the ball again, because if you have to punt from your 1 yard line, they got a great opportunity of blocking that punt. But I'm not surprised, because Coach Maynard, he's a gunslinger. He played like that as a quarterback. He was a gunslinger as a quarterback, a gunslinger as a coach, and he likes his chances throwing the football with his quarterbacks.
Well, the Bulldogs will have an opportunity to talk it over as they are 1 for 4 this afternoon on 3rd downs. It's so interesting. You talked about just how he was a gunslinger in practice every day. They like to have a quarterback competition. And Jay, I got a chance to witness you and Coach Maynard participate in that QB competition.
Why are you going there?
And he was showing off a little bit because he had the Willie Beeman jersey on, because he was a double in the movie Any Given Sunday. Of course, he was longtime Arena Football League quarterback as well. That's Jay Gruden right beside him as well. He played for the Orlando Predators.
And he won. He was a winning quarterback when he played in the Arena Football League.
Now, for our viewers at home who didn't get a chance to have firsthand knowledge or actually see that competition go down, the two-time MEAC Player of the Year, Connell Maynard, said he outplayed and outthrew you, the MEAC Player of the Year from Howard University. Of course, everyone knows Jay Walker, ladies and gentlemen.
On this incompletion there, because I don't know what you're talking about there. But
was that arm or shoulder a little sore?
I pick up a football once a year. He picks up a football every day for his job. So I didn't participate this year, but he can sling it here. Now we're going to see about those decisions. I told you he's a gunslinger. Calling a double clutch route, double pump fake from your own end zone, that's risky play calling. Didn't pay off for him. Now let's see if they get this punt off.
And that one was a tough one. Some pressure brought to Corey, and Corey barely got it 30 yards. That one was a tough one. Some contact there, but no penalty flag on the play. Abraham Edempsey got a little tip on it right there, as Alabama State will get it with great field possession.
ESPN College Football is presented by McDonald's.
5:52 to go in this second quarter. More importantly, before the bands hit the field, Alabama A&M and Alabama State. Of course, the football game is important, but the halftime show is equally as important as well. We'll stick around for that. And, of course, Give Me 5 also coming up at halftime. Jay, what we got?
How about I teach you how to classic? Well, you're a first timer. It's your first classic, so I had to show you how to classic a little bit. So give you the ways you have to classic, as they call it down here.
I like it. Well, Tyson Farmer on the carry. This is Alabama State's best starting field possession so far today.
Yeah, but third time in the red zone today, and they've got 0 points. They have to figure out a way to finish off a drive. You got great field position to start this drive. You have to put some points on the board.
Remember, on their opening drive, marched down the field but missed a 23-yard field goal. And here, they could smell the end zone getting closer and closer as they had an opportunity to perhaps tie this game were it not for the Bulldogs' big-time defensive play.
Their best opportunity right now, 1st and goal. And this is where I think you try and run the ball behind your best offensive lineman. That's on that left side with Titus Howard, we mentioned earlier. Number 58, left tackle, 6'6", 310 pounds.
So another first down for State, just their 4th of the game. And Farmer on the carry, trying to churn those legs closer to the goal line. He's brought down at the 1 by Solomon Hunter.
Moving the pile a little bit. And I'm not necessarily a big fan of doing a little zone read here or the quarterback read option. If you're going to give it to the running back, give it to him so he can get that momentum and get moving downhill and push the pile.
Now 2nd and goal from the 1. Farmer remains in the backfield. Davis in the shotgun. The handoff to Farmer, tries to run on that right side, and it's a touchdown. Alabama State puts up 6. And the black and gold fans sitting in the sun have something to cheer about.
Yeah, very fortunate. Solomon Hunter, number 49, doesn't make this tackle. He's right there looking, and I think if he attacks the ball carrier instead of trying to read the quarterback-running back exchange, he can make that tackle behind the line of scrimmage, but came up a yard short, and the Hornets are on the scoreboard.
Hunter Hansen on to attempt the extra point.
It's football. You have to know the game. When they had the ball, the defense made the play, got the fumble on the 1 yard line. I said at the time, you should be running the football. Give yourself some cushion so you can kick the ball away. They didn't do it. Shank punt, and then all of a sudden you give them great field position, and now ball game's tied.
At 7 apiece, Donald Hill, Ely's group puts up 7 on the board. And looking across your power rankings, Jay, just your thoughts, because everyone tunes in to know.
Welcome to the party. The Maroon Tigers representing Atlanta. Oh yeah, I see you, Coach Freeman. You guys are number 5 with 7-1. I hope they keep winning. Southern University. Don't know what Southern's going to get, but right now they're in control in the wild, wild west of the SWACs. Number 3, Alcorn State. We've seen them. They seem like they're going to win that East, but Alabama State don't care about that. Alcorn, they're playing good football. Number 2 is North Carolina A&T, the highest-ranked FCS team we've got, but they're number 2 right now because they lost to who?
Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University.
FAMU is they're better known as. FAMU got the victory over there. The Millennium Stars are doing a great job. And on the bubble, I thought Central was showing some signs of life. But a couple schools that aren't on that list that we've talked about, Tennessee State. When's the last time I did a top 5 without Grambling?
Yeah.
Grambling not on there. Then you're talking about, I couldn't even put Howard on there because Howard's not there, and they don't seem like they're coming back. But they're all playing for this right here, too.
To make it to Atlanta for the Celebration Bowl and to be crowned HBCU national champions takes place in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium next month, or in December, rather.
Let me tell these fans here, because this is the largest HBCU event here, the Celebration Bowl is becoming an event. It's becoming bigger than just the football game. Atlanta is welcome with open arms. It's a great venue to have that game in. So even if your team doesn't make it, I think you need to make it down to Atlanta. Come check it out.
It's definitely worthwhile, and we'll have the opportunity to talk with one of the Divine Nine presidents at half. But the importance of getting Greek letter organizations involved, because when you think about just the healthy competition that it creates and allowing them to not only support their organizations, but also perhaps their HBCUs. I'm a member of a sorority, and I went to an HBCU as well. So if you're from the MEAC, you got to represent the MEAC. If you're from the SWAC, you got to do the same.
Number 53.
So, I went to Howard, so help me out. Divine Nine. What is Divine Nine?
Well, those
There is
are
only
black
one of
letter,
her.
Greek letter fraternities and sororities and
All the big
fraternities.
ones.
All the big ones.
Okay.
So the AKAs, the Alphas, the Deltas, the Qs, the Sigmas, the Zetas, the SG Rhos, and the Iotas.
Okay, so you better not miss one.
Yeah. see in the stands. Can I use your
Sure.
tally right here? AKA.
Hey, it's a Q dog right there.
You know, we may spot some red for either Kappa or Delta. You know.
Okay. Now everybody saying, "Oh, that's what all that purple's meant all those years." I thought they were Laker fans. Now, Greek life is definitely a different culture, particularly at HBCU campuses.
So a re-kick here. And Hansen gets it off right into the hands of Brian Jenkins, the freshman out of Daytona Beach, showing some moves. A little shake and bake action. So solid return there from Jenkins.
When you get in football games like this, we're tied up 7-7, big game, 4 minutes to go. It's the team that I've seen in the years that finishes out the half, that can close with some momentum that normally wins the football game. So these are crucial 4 minutes right now, because you want to try and go into halftime with the lead, removing the football, going to that locker room a little hyped up. So I think Alabama State's going to become a little bit more aggressive right now on defense and try and get the football back.
Dylan Smith once more at quarterback for A&M. And a timeout called by Alabama State. You know, one of the things that the coaches were talking about, especially with Alabama A&M, to your point, Jay, of finishing out games and finishing strong. You can have some momentum and carry that, and then it kind of halts because maybe you rest on your heels or your laurels just a little bit. For Alabama State, you look at their schedule. I mean, they've played a couple of FBS opponents, a wonderful FCS opponent in Kennesaw State, who we got a chance to see earlier this year,
Yeah,
and they are something special. Yeah, I mean, so they're something special. So when you look at, for instance, their schedule and what they've been up against, they're 2-4 on the year. But Coach Hill Ely says that's not really indicative of the type of team that we are.
And those 2 wins, I think, are big, because we talk about how they beat Alcorn. Let's not forget they beat Tuskegee.
Yeah.
Now, Tuskegee, those schools are real close to each other, and no easy game there. So those are 2 quality wins for Coach Hill. The losses to Auburn and the Kennesaw State, that's going to happen. Grambling, good team there. They learned from it and rebounded. And then South Alabama. So they want to just keep winning in the SWAC.
As they have an opportunity to be in the driver's seat, control their destiny in hopes of making it to the SWAC championship and eventually the Celebration Bowl. And we had Don Cheadle in the booth. Now he's on the field with Trent Richardson, the former Alabama running back, now a part of the Birmingham Iron.
Good to see Trent down here. He's royalty down here in Birmingham. How about Don, too? That was nice. He got into it here. He wants to keep calling the game and the action.
Well, you can add that to his list, as Dylan Smith is sacked by Aaron Pope. Pope, a junior out of Cleveland.
Why are they doing so much quarterback shuffle? I mean, one thing about playing for Coach Maynard, he expects a lot out the quarterback position, but we've seen 3 quarterbacks in the first half.
Right. Well, there was a time, as Glass is back in, where we saw Dylan Smith kind of get a little something going, spark plug, change of pace. But it's sometimes hard to get into a rhythm as a quarterback, as you well know, if you're continuing to shuttle them in and out.
When you're playing on eggshells, when you think one mistake and I'm going to come out of the game or lose my job, not a way that you want to feel comfortable playing quarterback.
Glass with time in the pocket, staying steady there but he was covered quickly by Octavius Smiles. The pass was incomplete. Aaron Pope in on the coverage.
And this is not the way you want to end the half.
Yeah.
If you're Alabama A&M. Alabama State, what you wanted. 3 and out, give the ball back to your offense with a chance to try and close out this first half with a lead.
So 4th and 13 on the punt. The Bulldogs get it away. Joshua Hill return it, bobbles it, just able to recover, but that was dangerous right there as it slipped right through his hands, but he was able to fall on top of it.
Yeah, dodged the bullet right there. He had plenty of room to do the return. Nice kick that hung in the air. I think he's just looking, where am I going to run? Goes right through the breadbasket. Fortunate it takes a good bounce for Alabama State. They can maintain possession of the football.
42-yard punt, just a 3-yard return. Looked like he may be a little banged up after that one.
And you know what the coach is going to say? If you wouldn't have dropped the ball, you wouldn't have got dinged up.
So Alabama State with the chance to go on top if they can put some more points on the board with this drive. Davis, all kinds of time, dancing around in the pocket, decides to tuck it and run. Not known for that, more of a pure passer, but a penalty flag on the field and it could come back.
I'm going to be curious about this one. This is a hold. It came after he had crossed the line of scrimmage.
Offense, number 71, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Leewood Brown, the guilty party there, so that negates a solid first down run for Davis.
We mentioned plenty of time, and you see number 71 is there in the middle. And he's got him there. That's a good little chicken fight. He breaks the line of scrimmage. I thought it became a little bit of an acting job by the defensive end at the end of that there. Wow.
You know, when quarterbacks get hit, they like to sell. They got to sell the play. They do some acting as well, Jay.
D lineman? No, I don't want any D lineman acting.
Davis trying to heave it there. And Salim couldn't haul it in.
Now, quarterback play. It's knowing when to call your own number and when not to. Now, he's going to drop back here. There was more room to run on that last play than there was on the previous play. If he tucks that football and runs, he picks up a lot of yardage. Take a look at the step-up lane here. Once he gets by the first wave, step up. Who's got him to the left? Nobody. He elects to throw the ball downfield. Incomplete pass.
This time being swept out of the pocket. And big defensive stop from the Bulldogs. Marcus Cushine with the stop.
I love it when defensive coordinators tell me the truth. And their defensive coordinator for Alabama A&M told me the truth. We're going to blitz more than we blitzed before. We've seen some things schematically. We've seen Holloway get there. Cushine's just a true freshman. They bring him in for a blitz package. They're sticking to their game plan, which is when things get tight, we're going to bring in that blitz. And they're having success getting to the quarterback.
Mark DeBastiani, who spent a lot of time again in the MEAC as well with Bethune-Cookman. Defensive coordinator under Alvin Shine Wyatt.
Shine Wyatt. That was a personality there. Always you say Bethune-Cookman, you got to think about Wyatt.
When you look at these two head coaches, both Maynard and Hill Ely, I like them as well because they've got their personality as well. Nice swag there, fun, jovial guys, you know, and what they've been able to do with their programs is, you know, step in and trying to change the tide a little bit. Now they're being competitive both in the SWAC East.
And I think for A&M, this team is going to grow off the competitive nature that Cornell Maynard has. One of the most competitive guys I've ever met in my life in anything, and this team is starting to compete.
Another lane right there for Davis. Davis better tuck it. And he's knocked out of bounds by Dylan Hamilton. Hamilton, a name we've called quite a bit for the Bulldogs. And A&M able to hold that, brings up fourth down. Yeah,
had he done that on the second down, then they would have been in better shape. But they're giving it to him. Once he gets by that initial line of scrimmage, they've got their back turned to him. Look at this running lane he's got over here to the left. Becomes a foot race and outruns one, but not able to outrun the second tackler in Dylan Hamilton.
So A&M uses their final timeout of the half. Both teams have spent all three. And uh-oh, Jay, got a little wave action going inside Legion Field.
The anticipation is starting to get there. It's starting to build up into this game here. It's always a rivalry, and the fans are getting into it as well in preparation for halftime. I like it. They got the slow motion wave going.
So you got to remix it a number of different waves, right? So you go fast one time, everybody gets in the hang of it. And then it's like, if you're from Texas or Florida, we got like slow down music or chopped and screwed. You know, you got to slow it down, finesse that thing a little bit. Craven to Jenkins. Jenkins trying to get to the edge.
Yeah, blocking the back, bring the back.
That was awesome.
I'm curious to know how many flags we've had in this first half. Malik Bridgers called for that block in the back.
Yeah, that's what you can't do. Like the little things, they're just off.
During the return, block in the back. Receiving team, number 12, 10-yard penalty, first down.
A&M called timeout to try and get the ball back with some time so their offense can try and put some points on the board. They get the ball back, they get a penalty, move it back, and now that task becomes even harder. It's the little things like that Coach Maynard has to instill in his program to understand what we're trying to do. When I call that timeout, I want to win the battlefield position and end the half with a score. We neutralize that with a personal foul block in the back.
A&M with 1 minute and 53 seconds to drive down the field to try to put something together, perhaps get on the board, because Alabama State receives the kick at the start of the third quarter.
And I just think with that last penalty there, it changes your play call and how aggressive you can be, because now you can't afford a 3-and-out and give them the ball back with better field position.
I was going to say, but we've seen some aggressive play calling deep, nearly in their end zone.
But they ran the ball that first time just to eat some clock up, see if they could spring it. Now they'll try and pick up this first down and maybe get a late 2-minute drive going.
Glass finds Dell, who had that touchdown reception in the first quarter to get Alabama A&M on the board.
Let's watch the tempo. Let's see how quickly they can get up to the line of scrimmage, get this ball snapped. They're already 5 seconds in. When you're in a 1 minute to less situation, you have to have a sense of urgency behind your 2-minute offense.
Some pressure coming from behind, and dangerous throw. 3
Did he catch that? Wow, what a catch.
Oh, my goodness. What? Beat your chest after that one, Moore.
Took the hit, held on to the football. Zabrian Moore.
35-yard completion.
See, now I'm
from
clocking the ball now. You should be spiking the ball right now. You are going to need these seconds back, and you're waiting there calling a play with a huddle. You wasted 10 seconds.
And remember, they have no timeouts.
Yep. And now look.
So quick to get there, Aaron Pope, Trevor Goodrum, and company.
You should have just spiked it.
So now do you just spike it, but a penalty flag is on the field?
Now you've got to go for it, but.
I still am going back to that 35-yard catch.
That was a great catch.
By Moore. That was unbelievable. It was triple coverage, and when it went up, I wasn't sure if anybody was going to bring that in.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense, number 8, 15-yard penalty.
And you're watching Alabama A&M continuing to shoot themselves in the front. They go forward and they go right back.
But that's that catch in between 3 bodies, and you saw a mistake by a defensive back waiting for the ball to go to him. They always tell you, go get it at its highest point. And you saw the defensive back waiting for the ball to come to him, and that was a great job by Zabrian Moore coming in there and snagging that ball and getting hit.
So look how far back it moves them beyond midfield. 23-yard penalty for Alabama A&M. Ouch.
That penalty stopped the clock from running, which normally would have been still running, which makes it a 10-second runoff by Alabama A&M. Please reset the game clock to 20 seconds.
Yep.
And it will start on my line. 20 seconds.
And this drive is pretty much over. This will be a learning experience for them. When you get in tight games like this, you can't make the mental errors of a personal foul or a block in the back.
Just dumps it underneath to Dell. Dell's got plenty of speed, a blocker ahead, trying to eat up some of that yardage, and he does so. The speedster, they like to call Tank, has made some nice plays, and that will bring the first quarter to a close. Remember, neither team had any timeouts, and so
it was such a big play. Yeah, this is crazy. It's over. They did not get a first down because of the long penalty, so they're thinking they got a first down, time to change it. This half is over.
This is done. The officials still conferring.
Well,
personal foul. Tripping. 75 on the offense. 15-yard penalty. Second down.
Wow, Jay. It's an interesting turn of events here. Well, interesting way to close out the half, let's just say that.
Yeah. Seeing a lot of things here, but I mean, I just declined the penalty. If I'm Alabama State, decline the penalties going to the locker room.
A&M did not make the first down. By rule, the clock runs down to 0 at time.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So now both teams can head into the locker room, knotted at 7-all here from Legion Field. That was an interesting close to the first half here from the 77th annual Magic City Classic. Alabama A&M, Alabama State tied up at 7. Come back for our halftime show right here from Birmingham. Here at the half for the 77th annual Magic City Classic from Birmingham, Alabama State and Alabama A&M tied at 7-all. With me, Deborah Catchings-Smith with Sigma Gamma Rho, the international basketball. What's so interesting is we had an opportunity just to talk about the Divine Nine and the impact that they have internationally, of course, here stateside. Can you just share some of your national service initiatives and the good that you do in the community?
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. And it's such an honor and a pleasure to be here at the Magic City Classic today and to definitely have this opportunity to talk to all of the wonderful and amazing service initiatives that Sigma Gamma Rho is involved in, one being our premier initiative, Swim 1922, which is our drowning prevention initiative. Started about 6 years ago. It's a partnership with USA Swimming, and what it does is it goes into our very own communities, and we give water safety training, we get folks into the pool, we expose them to Olympians, really dispelling the myth that black people do swim. And we are able to bring along Olympians. We have training engagements with those folks, as well as opening up and exposing our young people, children, and families to the world of the sport. And also, it's really an overall health and wellness initiative to get into the water.
Not only that, you're partnering also with law enforcement and trying to bridge that gap within the community as well.
Yes, we have an international partnership with NOBLE, which is a national organization of the Black law enforcement executives, and it helps us to bridge that gap in our communities, which is so needed, partnering with law enforcement officials, working through the issues in our communities, making sure that we truly have and are building the trust between the community and law enforcement so that we can really all have safer communities, because after all, that's what we're all thriving for, and that's what we want.
And you're talking about communities. You all were in the community today with a service project at the Smithfield Project. Just the hands-on experience that you received. Share with our viewers just a little bit about that.
Yes, absolutely. We have an amazing partnership with ESPN that is allowing us an opportunity as a collective, all of the Divine Nine sororities and fraternities, which are predominantly Black Greek letter organizations, partnering and going into the communities at various bowl games this year and actually executing what we do well, and that is service. So yesterday we had an opportunity to go to the Smithfield community and actually paint a community center that was in need of that that really hands-on and free labor, and we were able to provide that, and we are so honored to be able to give back to our communities and to demonstrate that at a venue such as the Magic City Classic.
Talking about that celebration of service, all leading up to the Celebration Bowl in December, the importance of Greek letter organizations, particularly the Divine Nine, being involved with the Magic City Classic, the Celebration Bowl, and other HBCU events. What's the connection in your mind?
The connection in our mind is really amping up the awareness and demonstrating to our communities the value that we bring, the value that we all bring as a collective of all of the sororities and fraternities, and what we're able to do in our communities, the free and love work that we extend, going out to our communities, giving millions of dollars to scholarships to people who may not have ever had a chance to further their education, providing mentorship to our young people, which is sorely needed, both girls and boys, also getting out in the community and rallying and mobilizing folks to be a part of the democratic process, getting folks mobilized to register to vote, to get involved and going to the polls to vote, to consider running for political office, so that we can all contribute at a greater level in our respective communities.
Well, I hope that you have enjoyed your time here at the Magic City Classic. Now, you got to tell me how the Sigma Gamma Rho's are going to show up at the Celebration Bowl just to make sure they're repping the blue and gold.
Absolutely. Our sorors are so excited. I was just in Atlanta last weekend, and they are ready to go, fired up to come out with the service initiative, and also, again, to work collaboratively with all of the Divine Nine organizations in making sure that we are bringing that awareness and demonstrating our value. Millions of dollars in scholarships, millions of hours in service that we give to our communities at a value add that actually improves the quality of life of all of our people.
All right, so the other 8 are put on notice because the SG Rose will be there in full effect at the Celebration Bowl in December. Deborah Catching-Smith, the International Grant Basilisk of Sigma Gamma Rho, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
We certainly appreciate you coming back and looking to see you in Atlanta.
Thank you so much.
We'll be back with more from Birmingham.
Called it.
Xfinity, the future of awesome.
Band on the field, entertaining fans here at Legion Field as we're at the half between Alabama State and Alabama A&M. With Jay Walker, I'm Tiffany Green. We've heard so much about the Magic City Classic, all that it has to offer, the largest HBCU event in the country. It's a big deal, ladies and gentlemen, more than 60,000. From your eyes, has it lived up to the billing just yet?
I think it has. I mean, it starts all week with the build-up and everything, and this is your very first classic, so I thought I'd have a little treat for you for my Gimme 5. You want to send us a Gimme 5 one time?
Let's get into it. Gimme 5 with Jay Walker. The man,
It's Gimme 5.
Oh, that's you trademarked that.
We go back, but I like seeing this now. It's Howard Homecoming week right now, so I don't mind seeing some Howard throwbacks right there. But how about this? How You Classic. This is How You Classic. How You Magic City Classic. First thing you got to realize, you got to get here on Tuesday. It's tailgate starting on Tuesday. You see that? I got here on Wednesday, but they start on Tuesday and keep going all week, and they're not leaving until tomorrow night. So come down here, bring your RV, rent your one, check out the proper tailgate you have to have, and meet some good folks up in there. Number 4 thing you got to do, you got to play some golf. See, I got me and my boys right there. So we go out. They've got some of the best golf courses in the country here. They call it the RTJ Trail, Robert Trent Jones Trail. Something about golf. Ross Bridge is my favorite, but Oxmoor Valley, all the other ones, those are places there. You got to do that if you're going to come down here. That's how you classic. Number 3, what else you got to do, Tiff?
Bands?
Check out the parade. We got to make it family friendly. You got these great bands that are coming. You got the ambassador we saw. So you've got to come down here, participate in the parade so you see it all, you catch it all, go through historic Birmingham, Alabama.
Here's the deal. They were up bright and early for that parade,
They were,
too.
but 2, this is what I love. Post-game concert. So when this game is over, there's a concert here in the stadium. Now, last year was Tip. The year before that was Luda, Bootsy Collins, and Morris Day. And this year it's going to be Gucci Mane. So you stay here because you don't leave the stadium until well after dark. So they do that post-game concert, which makes it special. And then it all starts with number 1. What about these players? You got to come out here. You got to come to the game, support these teams, watch some good football. You saw the strike delivered there. This game's going to play out to be very interesting at the end. It always comes down to like the last possession game. So support these schools, support these young men that are out there laying it on the line for their schools to see what they can do about it. So that's how you classic. Did you learn anything about how you classic?
You know, but you didn't pick up my burr for Gucci Man. I was ready for the post-game concert already. It's halftime, and I'm ready.
I got you. You're getting there. So the full recap is there. If you want to talk about it, hit me up at Jay Walker Scott, but also on the bubble, the Star Watch. So now I add Don Cheadle that. So this weekend I've seen Don Cheadle, saw Big Tigger, you saw Trent Richardson down there in past years. I've seen Ice Cube, I've seen them all. And the Dreamland Barbecue, that's my personal favorite. I know it's Jay's Give Me 5, not y'all's Give Me 5. Give me some Dreamland Barbecue while I'm down here too. And that is how you enjoy the Magic City Classic.
All right now, if you haven't made it down to Birmingham for the Magic City Classic.
Honeybee's in the house.
Hey, girl, hey. You got to come down. You got to check it out. It's all the way live. Come back with us to Legion Field.
$100,000 parts.
The Honeybees strutting out onto the field for Alabama State. You better work that thing, girl. But then the theatrics, okay? Alabama A&M, the Bulldogs, right? So there's the Bulldog mascot. And wait a minute. Is that a Hornet? The Hornet, is it coming in? It's emerging. And let me tell you, this rivalry extends to all platforms, in the parking lot, on the field, with the bands, you name it, Jay. It runs deep. This is the longest continuous rivalry in the state of Alabama.
And you see everything we talked about, you get it here. You see the pageantry here. You can tell the intensity. So when the football team isn't cranking it up, the band's off. They're getting it started, getting it going here. And it's a tie ball game, so that's what you expect from conference play with an in-state rival.
Your impressions from that first half? I mean, it was just really slow to get things underway, and when they had opportunities, both teams didn't necessarily take advantage when they could have.
Yeah, that's what I think. A lot of missed opportunities for Alabama State. An offense that doesn't score a lot of points during the regular season, they could have easily had 21 points in this first half already. They've been struggling to capitalize on their drives, and I think Alabama A&M, they've been playing a little bit risky. That's what they're going to do with their style of play there, but it hasn't really rewarded them yet. But this game is still up for grabs in the second half.
When you're looking at how both teams got to 7 apiece, it was Alabama State falling on their defensive side because they had no answer for Akil Glass and Nathaniel Dell.
Yeah, that is a perfectly thrown ball there. Dell was going to be that secret weapon there. He's a guy, the true freshman, special talent. They found a way to get him in a one-on-one matchup.
Then the answer on the other side from the Hornets with Tyson Farmer.
Good job there. They got the ball, took advantage of great field position, pound the ball up the middle behind that nice offensive line that they have there. And you see right there the 80 rushing yards from Alabama State. I expect that. I thought Alabama A&M would have more than just 10 yards rushing. You got Jordan Bentley and some guys there that can do something. They have to be a little bit more balanced in this second half offense if they want to try and win this football game.
What do you need to see in these final 2 quarters from both sides?
Stop the quarterback shuffle. Alabama A&M, find your hot hand, let them continue to play it out through the good and the bad and sometimes ugly, but settle on that quarterback position. I think they're doing too much of that. And Alabama State, take advantage of opportunities, complete your drives, and I think whichever team gets to 21 points is going to win this football game.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the last 10 years it's been split 5-5. So these games usually come down to the wire, and it's a rivalry game. All the more important. We're at the half here from Birmingham.
1,000 feet filled with action, first downs, and a 62-yard field goal to win. Free live TV on American Airlines.
Alabama A&M and Alabama State ready to get it cracking here for this second half. State will receive the ball as they won the toss and deferred to start the game. Jay, you know, there was a really dangerous question you asked Don Cheadle about, who won the Battle of the Bands, all that good stuff. Now that you got a chance to see the Hornets and the Bulldogs, just give me your thoughts. You don't have to pick one, just your thoughts.
I really like the opening and the presentation. Alabama State, when they came out, got the crowd going into it. I like the way Alabama A&M closed it. When they played that smile on your face,
backstabbers, OJs.
Yeah, that had it going. That was a crowd favorite. But two really good bands, and I've said this. I think one of the most improved bands I've seen in a while has been Alabama A&M. Good band. They're getting there for a while. Took them a while to get used to being a SWAC band because they were one of the newest member institutions there. But now they're starting to play with the best of them. What'd you think?
I like the honeybees.
It doesn't matter what you think.
It doesn't matter. It does, and I like the honeybees.
You like the honeybees?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember them from before. And then I too am a huge fan of the song "Backstabbers" from the OJs. So it got us like jamming up here in the booth. Like, okay, nice way to rock into the third quarter as that one as a touchback goes into the end zone. And Alabama State, who had a solid opening drive to begin the game, kind of lulled themselves to sleep a little bit, woke back up after that Farmer touchdown, and now they have the opportunity to get it moving here first in this third quarter. Kadaris Davis, 12 for 18 in that first half, 119 yards. More importantly, he took care of the football up until that fumble down at the goal line, near the goal line.
Yeah, and the Hornet offense has moved the ball consistently against this Alabama A&M defense, but they're tied on the scoreboard, so they need to have that same type of productivity statistically wise, but they have to get balls in the end zone.
And Anderson with the carry. Their go-to guy, Ezra Gray, was a game-time decision coming in at running back. May have been banged up just a little bit, so Alex Anderson and Tyson Farmer, we've seen them rotate in and out of the backfield.
And now we need to see that sense of urgency. I mean, A&M, we know it's a one-game season for him. They have to win this Classic. They can't make it to the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl. Alabama State, you control your own destiny. Win this football game, which is big, and you've got a great chance at making it back here for the SWAC championship. And I just have not seen that sense of urgency like, hey, let's go take care of our business.
Yeah. And one of the things after that 16-yard game from Alex Anderson to move the chains that Donald Hill-Ely talked about earlier in this press conference this week was the fact that when he had a chance to play South Alabama, he had the opportunity to rotate in a lot of guys trying to create that depth. They played 55 different players, many of them, freshmen and sophomores. So he feels like he's got the depth that he needs to be able to move forward. Now they've got to, like you said, make some moves here and not just kind of steadily move along. They've got to put their foot on the gas pedal a little bit.
Yeah, and I like what they're doing. This play selection, they're starting to say, let's start taking advantage of the line of scrimmage. Let's wear down this Alabama A&M defense. They've been running the football to start this second half. I like the play selection that they're doing, trying to make this a physical game, showing that we've got a better offensive line. We're going to show it to you. We're going to use it. They've been running the football successfully. Sorry.
You got that big guy Titus Howard, number 58, and wide up front, and creating some space and lanes for this rushing attack, although a penalty marker is on the field.
Let's take a look at Titus Howard. We talked about him, big number 58, 6'6", 311. When they're going to come outside you, what do? Get up to that second level. You get them there, took them.
Offense. Number 71.
Out there, and unfortunately it's coming back, but it's the ability to get to that second level, which makes you a special lineman. If you can get up to linebackers, get in their chest, that's what they want. That shows he's got the mobility needed to be a Sunday type of NFL left tackle.
Fifth-year senior with NFL hopes and aspirations, FCS All-American and Senior Bowl watch list for the big guy out of Monroeville, Alabama.
We talk to coaches around the league, and they say he's our best lineman we've had in this conference since a guy by the name of Teron Armstead. Played at Arkansas Pine Bluff now. Drew Brees starting left tackle.
And Davis, we saw them do a little bit of this at the end of the first half. Tucks it and runs it, calls his own number, pushed out by Adrian Portlock. Kadarius Davis out of nearby Bessemer, Alabama. The hometown to who? Jameis Winston and?
Bo.
There you go.
Bo knows. Bo Jackson.
That's right.
Talking to Coach Hill about his quarterback, Kadarius Davis, he said, one of 9 children. He's one of 9. And he said he's just a great kid and really enjoys the college experience. And he said it's been nice to see him grow into a young man that's coming from Bessemer with those 9 kids to now becoming a leader on this football team.
And once more calls his own number.
Got to go for that, young man.
Yeah. Instead, slides just a few yards short of that first down marker.
And this is where you coach him up, because he's just a sophomore. But what you have to do, I remember there are certain games where I had my coach tell me, hey, this team is really geared up against the run, so you're going to be the running game. That means, hey, if you drop back, sometimes I'm calling pass plays for you to run. And when you run, pick up as much yards as you can. And that's one of those situations you feel like if Davis would have left his feet and picked up the first down, they'd still have the football.
They moved the ball fairly well, but disappointing to end with a punt here on 4th and 3. Anthony Craven boots it away. And clearing out are the Bulldogs, and that's where they'll start, just near the 14-yard line. So Alabama A&M coming up on offense after that 43-yard punt.
You like her, but you'd like her better if you made more money than she does. Don't get mad at Just Maria. Get E-Trade.
ESPN College Football presented by McDonald's here from Legion Field, or the more affectionate name known as the Old Gray Lady, as Alabama State and Alabama A&M tied up at 7 apiece. And you go back to 1927 when Howard took on Birmingham Southern. That was the first game hosted here. And of course, it's been the home to the Magic City Classic for a long time, and I think they just signed another 5-year deal to make sure they remain here in Birmingham.
Kind of wish that Auburn and Alabama would play here like once every 5 years or something like that. Pick an odd year and play here, because all those historic times they had here. It was the first SEC championship game was played here, which they say that was the play that changed college football in Alabama, the interception versus Florida.
A lot of great history here at Legion Field. And overthrown by Glass. His intended target was Moore. So some of those notable games that has been hosted here over the years. First Magic City Classic was 1946, then the Iron Bowl. Oh, we know Bo knows.
Over the top.
And then there's that SEC championship game that you mentioned. Hosted a little soccer as well.
That Landon Donald?
I think so.
But, you know, I knew that the SEC championship game was played here because I played golf with Antonio Langham, and he never lets me forget that game.
What's really important in your world, Jay, is golf, right?
Yeah, you got to be able to play.
Well, yeah. Well, you made it made the list on High Classic.
Absolutely,
the Robert Trent Jones golf courses. So that catch by Marcellus Clash, an 11-yard reception, moves the sticks.
And when you see this right here, they're daring them to throw the football. The deepest defender for Alabama State is 9 yards off the ball. Take a deep shot. Pull him in and take a deep shot. Oh, what a catch.
Instead, Marcellus Clash coming back for it and brings it in. He's one of those guys who just fights for the ball, and he has a nose for it and found his hands.
Did you see the body control? Watch him readjust. This ball's thrown high. Watch him double clutch in the air, kick his legs to get some more hang time. Oh, man. That's some great body control there, and good catch by Marcellus Clash from Altadena, California.
A Cali boy.
John Muir High.
Just like you. Jordan Bentley with the strong run brought down by Dennis Roberts. Bentley, talk about one of those great young men for Alabama A&M. 3.9 GPA, engineering major, really what they call the quarterback of the team, Jay.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to have the running back considered the quarterback,
Yeah.
but now I see why. Because they do the quarterback shuffle right now, so they're not set on their quarterback. But Bentley, once again, just does his job, give him the ball on first down, picks up 6 yards. He's a move the pile type of runner. Nothing flashy, but always has good forward lean.
2nd and 4, and a huge hole for Jordan Bentley. Bentley off to the races. Can you catch him? No, sir. 57 yards. Holla at your boy.
Nothing flashy, huh, Jay?
No.
I see you, Jordan Bentley. That's what you're supposed to do. I made him my impact player for a reason. He's got the experience, great vision, and he can finish off the run. This is a good job of the vision to see the hole, set up the block, and it becomes a foot race. And Bentley with the foot speed to take it to the house, which is not his forte, outrunning number 47, Karan Ramsey, the starting safety for the Hornet defense.
Yes, it's kind of like Bentley the car. You know, that's more of a cruiser kind of, but it can put on the gas. Yeah, it can get on the gas.
Going.
Yeah, it does what it needs to do. The extra point attempt is good, so 14-7, Alabama A&M.
I tell him he's not flashy. He says, I'll show you flash and dash, as Jordan Bentley takes it to the house to give the Bulldogs a 7-point lead.
In 4.5 seconds, introducing the Genesis G70.
Jordan Bentley igniting his teammate and this crowd as Alabama A&M takes the lead here in the 3rd quarter with 8:53 to go. And Connell Manor wants to win his first Magic City Classic. And so far, his team has given him a temporary lead. Marquez Spencer on the return, trying to find some daylight, and boom! Big time collision from the Bulldogs. So that last drive, the Bulldogs found a steady pace and they kept going.
Yeah, a little sense of urgency. You saw Clash got involved in the passing game there. This fantastic catch right here, which kept the drive alive. And then they started realizing, hey, Jordan Bentley may be feeling it today. Let's take a ride on our Bentley down I-65 into the end zone.
The Azura or the Continental?
Continental.
Okay.
More traditional type, right?
Yeah, I like it. You know, classy. 7 plays, 86 yards, capped off by that 57-yard touchdown run from Jordan Bentley. Now the Hornets on offense. Farmer, who scored a touchdown, the only touchdown for Alabama State on the carry, brought down by Zach Oglesby. Well, you talked about the aggressive play calling for A&M. For State, what have you seen?
A little bit all over the place a little bit. I mean, obviously we know this offense runs through the quarterback with Davis. David hasn't played bad, just hasn't played great. I think they've established they can run the football, but they just have to stay committed to it.
A handoff once more to Tyson Farmer, and met in the backfield by 17 in maroon. And that's Elijah Tamaru.
And what you're going to have to do right now is they know that you're trying to run the football, so Alabama A&M, they're gambling on defense as well. So they're saying, we're going to crowd that line of scrimmage, and we're going to make it tough for you to pick up yards. Look, they're not going real deep in their secondary either. This is a daring you to throw type of front as they're setting them up for another blitz.
They're coming. It was picked up and just overthrown by Davis. So the incomplete pass brings up 4th down and a quick 3 and out for the Hornets.
And be careful, because momentum goes a long way in this type of football game here. Alabama A&M feeling good after the long touchdown run. Now they're going to get an opportunity to get the ball back in pretty good field position. And I do believe they've got a pretty dangerous punt returner in Brian Jenkins Jr. able to receive.
And one of the things that Donald Hill-Ely told us, they also have a pretty dangerous kicker on the side for Alabama State. He's boomed to 80-yarder, but this one goes to Jenkins, and Jenkins remaining on his feet, spinning all the way around.
Had 15 yards on that. That was a face mask. And for the punter, we know he's got a big leg, but he's a line drive kicker. And anytime you're kicking line drives, the return team loves that. They can catch it with a running start.
41-yard punt from Anthony Craven.
Personal foul. Face mask. Kicking team, number 34. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
We talk about Brian Jenkins Jr. Yes, his dad is Brian Jenkins Sr. People in this state probably know him as the former head coach of Alabama State. A year later, Brian Jenkins Sr. is now at Alabama A&M as an assistant coach, and his son is the #1 wide receiver for them so far this year.
Also spent some time down in Florida at Bethune-Cookman, and when you're looking at, just these coaching staffs and
I'll start offense, number 75, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Who they've been able to, assemble on both sides. I mean, for Connell Maynard, this is his first season at Alabama A&M out of Huntsville. He wanted to make sure he surrounded himself around guys that he felt like, could already come in with a lot of great experience. As Glass looking for his man, finds him on the dime. Nathaniel Dell, how about him? One more time.
Wow, it's going to be a shame that they're probably going to redshirt him under these new NCAA rules that he can only play 4 games. And I know some of the teams in the latter part of the schedule are happy about that, but they said he can separate and get open. And that was a great throw and a nice route and catch by Nathaniel Dell.
44 yards on the completion. That gets him down in the red zone, and a near great grab brought in by Jenkins. Just missed it. When you look at these two, you talk about Jenkins being one of the leading wide receivers, Nathaniel Dell, his buddy from his local high school in Daytona Beach out of Mainland. Coach told us Brian Jenkins Jr. did the most recruiting of Nathaniel Dell. He was an FIU recruit. He swapped to follow his friend. And you see the type of impact that they can make on this offense. And with Akil Glass being just a sophomore, some cohesiveness will come together over the years. They're targeting Dell.
I'm a nitpick here, but you have to make a better throw. Dell had tremendous separation on the line of scrimmage. When you're down inside the 10-yard line and you can get open by 2 or 3 yards, that's open. Throw this ball out there. He's a speed guy. At the top of your screen, you're going to see him. Look, he's by him. He's got the DB in the trail position. He threw it back and brought the defensive back into play.
Dell,
missed opportunity.
His first game back, he only played 2 games before being out. And with him back, you see the threat he provides for the Bulldogs. 3rd and 10 now. You see Connell Maynard sprinting onto the field.
That's Coach right here. What are you doing, Coach? Where are you going? He's going to make sure that timeout was called because he realizes, hey, points are at a premium. We need to make sure that we do the right thing, call the best play we can. But that's an intense guy. He's always like that. He's always like that. I mean, he and I, we can have a competition about cooking. But I obviously tell by the way we look, I'm a cook better than him. But he still thinks he can outcook me. It's about golf. It's about bowling. It's about everything. Like I said, one of the most competitive people that I've met. And to his credit, when I talk to the quarterbacks there, how's it like playing for him? They all say good things about him. They said he knows the position. But when he's getting on you like that, that's because he's got that competitive streak in him and that fire. He wants perfection and expects it from his team.
Let me tell you, in watching him yesterday, I got to be honest. I mean, he looked like he could go out there and still play, seemingly in good shape. And right there with him, Brian Jenkins with the white hat. Let me circle it. And there we go. Oh, I'm not doing good with this telestrate. I'll just leave that to you. But you talk about a fiery guy. Jenkins also another fiery guy as well.
And those two, and With Jenkins, to his credit, he said, you know what, I achieved a lot as a young coach, and I learned and made some mistakes, and another opportunity is going to come, and I'm going to be ready for it. And I think him working under a guy like Coach Maynard is going to help him long-term become a better coach. And he's one of the most winningest coaches we saw in the MEAC in recent history. Just didn't go well for him at Alabama State.
Glass dropping back, throws across his body into the back of the end zone. Dangerous pass. The intended target, Kendrick Johnson, off the mark, and they'll send the field goal unit on.
And not a bad thing. Hey, come away with 3 points. You're up by 2 possessions or 2 scores on an offense that's struggling, only averaging 14 points a game. So although you wish you were going up to 21, if you can convert this field goal and make it a 10-point lead, you like your chances.
29-yard attempt from Spencer Corey, and it goes off the upright. So that's the second field goal that we've seen miss within 30 yards.
The same things that make you laugh will make you cry. They thought it was funny when Alabama State missed a 23-yarder. Well, how about this one? It's the classic. Anything can happen. Doink!
Sunshine, beautiful skies, and oh yeah, got to whip up that grub on the grill. I'm getting snacky up here in the booth. I mean, I could really use, what's the sausage called?
That Kaneka sausage.
Kaneka.
That's something I learned about here in Alabama. It's some of the best sausage I've had.
Oh, what a great jump of the route from Romel Fields. Fields timed that perfectly, read the eyes of Davis, and hauls in the interception. He was completely dialed in on that route.
And when you're playing, Romel Fields plays that free safety position, so his job, follow where the quarterback takes you, and he gets a fantastic jump on this ball as they try and throw a stick 9 to the outside sideline. Corner comes off, Fields comes with help over the top, makes a nice interception on a good read, and turnover belt.
The belt's out. The belt's out, ladies and gentlemen. 2 turnovers now for Alabama State. We'll see if the Bulldogs can capitalize here. Quarles on the carry. And the true freshman brought down after a gain of about 5.
They like that. You know, I like the piece that, ESPN did talking about the different traditions.
Yeah.
What we saw, the turnover plank.
The plank.
Remember that?
The Kennesaw State had the plank.
And the backpacks and all that. The defensive coordinators, they tell you, we can't explain it, but for some reason it inspires defenses to play better and create more turnovers.
The handoff again to Quarles, and Quarles slithering through, picks up the first down, brought down by Darren Johnson.
You can see from his running style, a little bit different than Bentley. Smaller guy, 5'6", 170 pounds. He's what you call that quick twitch guy, that guy that can make you miss in a snap. Get him the ball on that edge, and he can do some damage.
I wonder if they would did they give you anything for the number of touchdowns you threw in a game?
Oh, man, I would have been sweet.
The quarterbacks are loved, man.
We get plenty of attention without the extra decals. First time we've really seen Christian Clark, one of my impact players there for Alabama State, 6'1", 377 pounds, run stop. Can't get him out of the way, and I think that's part of the reason why we've seen Alabama A&M run the ball, kind of off tackle a little bit, because inside there, just too hard to run with the big man Christian Clark in the middle of the defense, clogging things up.
Oh, yeah, he's a force up front for sure. His brother Frank is the defensive end with the Seattle Seahawks. Now Josh Cartwright in at quarterback. Dual wide receivers, running backs, and a timeout taken by Maynard. That's the second one he's spent.
And this is a 7-point game. And in a game like this, you never know if you're going to need those timeouts. You have to cherish them a little bit more in the second half as compared to the first half.
So it's just 2nd and 7 here. For Alabama State, you can't afford for the Bulldogs to get another score, walk away with any points.
That's what you want, but, I mean, keep in mind they missed a field goal last time on you. So in your mind, you're already down by 10 points, and it's only 7. But if you can hold them here to another field goal attempt, that'd be a good job by this defense. And we only bring this up because there's so much football left, but this offense for Alabama State, you know, what's the show we used to watch, Numbers Never Lie?
Yeah.
They haven't lied about this Alabama State offense. No. They average 14 points, and I think we're seeing why. And that's even throwing out the Auburn loss and games like that. They just haven't found that consistency on the offensive side of the ball to be a good offense.
Meanwhile, we've consistently seen different quarterbacks, again, for Alabama A&M. And Glass, the fake, got his man, Clash and Clash, who had made a great grab early on. Couldn't haul that one in. Kamar Martin on the coverage.
And if you're a wide receiver out there, how would you not like to come play for a team that's going to throw the ball, even in obvious run situations, give you an opportunity at a 50-50 ball, and that's good defense by Kamar Martin. Able to elevate with Clash, knock that ball away.
Been out since the start of the season for the Hornets. He's back down now. 3rd down and 7, 3 for 10 this afternoon for the Bulldogs. Quick out to Quarles. Quarles, you talked about that speed. Tried to get to the edge, and he's brought down by Ricky Haley.
Well, and that's a huge tackle by Ricky Haley, who rotates between being a defensive tackle and a defensive end. I mean, that was a foot race, and if he doesn't make that tackle there, that's a first down, possibly a touchdown.
I think there was a thought that maybe you go for it, given that you just missed that field goal. What do you call here?
I kick the field goal unless I really don't believe in him. You want to get him down by at least, double digits. If you put him by double digits, 2 possessions. Risky call here. Not going to get it. Can't do that.
That play seemed to be all over the place, and Dylan Smith was the one receiving the snap. Malik Bridgers in on the stop. How frustrated are you if you're Connell Maynard?
Yeah, well, you called the play, so I'm going to hold you responsible for a little bit. You might not like the execution and wanted him to get outside. I think that's what he's telling him. Stay outside where we had a lead blocker for you. You decide to cut inside early and don't make it. But keep this in mind. They've used 2 timeouts. They've left points on the board, and it's still a 1-score game. I think this stuff is the stuff that comes back to hurt you in the Magic City Classic.
It was a 21-16 decision last year. Alabama State won late. But their offense has to find something to get them going. Farmer with a good pickup on 1st down.
But if they could run the ball consistently, that would help. And if you run it, then that helps you set up play action. Right now there's no threat of the play action. So I'd like to see him continue to run the ball a little bit more.
On the outside to Joe Williams, and Williams near the sticks. Tackled by Armani Holloway.
And we talk about the big classics, and this is your first one, and I'm gonna agree with you. It's a little bit dull in here. Mm-hmm. The intensity, when we talk about the Florida Classic, Bethune-Cookman and FAMU, that's the loudest game in the country. This one here, for all the people that are in the stadium, it's a little bit quiet here. I mean, this is an opportunity you should be playing. While they're measuring, that doesn't stop the bands from playing.
Right. Ever since in the first quarter when they gave the warning, I think probably both bands just fell back a little bit, but that's what it needs a little bit more of, because the game is wearing on. But it's a wonderful crowd here. I mean, plenty of folks out here to support and ready to continue to kick it. Or is it, Jay, that they have been kicking it since Tuesday? Okay. And now they're on the downswing.
Yeah, I'm going to say this one. For the band, what does David Pollock say? Dave Maria, you have one job. Play music. Play music, hype up the crowd. So if they've been kicking it, that's a problem. Fans can do it, but I think the band, they should be up getting this thing going. What do they say? We're down south. Remember they say get crunk?
Get crunk.
It hasn't been crunk in here since halftime.
Looks like Alabama A&M is ready. The Bulldogs like, maybe?
Yeah, see, this much time in the Florida Classic, your eardrums would have been.
No, it's a different story there, for sure. 3rd and 1 now after the measurement for Alabama State. At their own 23-yard line. And the quarterback sneak, and Davis pushes the pile ahead and picks up first down yardage and more. But a penalty flag. Oh, no, that was just some debris on the field. See, look at there. We saw so much of it in the first half, Jay. I just assumed.
And the good thing is they keep the drive alive. In the trail position, down by 7, so you get to see a lot about their identity. Will they say, okay, we're going to force the run right now in these situations, win the battle line scrimmage, or do they do like they've been doing, rely on the pass?
Davis keeps it and runs right into a defender. There's Holloway again.
Holloway coming up and a little bit of Uric Bethune. And I really like the way Uric Bethune can change directions. I mean, he doesn't guess. I mean, he sits there, he goes through his read and progression, and once the quarterback decides to pull and run, it becomes a foot race, and he's really shown me some fantastic lateral quickness, which is why NFL scouts are interested in his services.
A pass completed there across the middle to Jameer Hanna. And you talk about just the Florida Classic, the Magic City Classic. You know what we hadn't mentioned yet? The Bayou. Yeah. You know, some folks in Louisiana might have something to say.
Yeah, Bayou could mean something too, like it always does. But Grambling and Southern down there, Southern this year in the driver's seat compared to Grambling. You know, Grambling would love nothing better than to knock off Southern and maybe keep them out of the SWAC championship.
Well, they have long ruled the West, but with Southern and then Prairie View A&M kind of being in the thick of things too. And just a little too aggressive there, trying to read the snap, and Holloway jumps off sides.
Defense, number 20. That 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
An automatic first down. They were dialing up another one of those blitzes that they've seen, that they've had success getting to the quarterback on, but Armani Holloway a little bit too quick, jumped off sides.
Pass complete to Williams. Williams tiptoeing that line and picks up another first down.
We'll see here, just extended handoff to the outside, get some good blocking on the outside. Low risk pass, move the chains. Drive doesn't have to be sexy, it just has to be effective. And they've been able to move the ball and pick up a couple first downs.
Sixth play of the drive here, and wide open was Hanna. Hanna, the senior out of Atlanta. It's a good pickup here on second down.
See, this is what Alabama State does. They get a play, positive yardage, hurry up, speed up, no huddle. And this is where they like to wear down the defense.
Davis with plenty of time finds his man.
Wow.
Oh, we saw the end zone before he held on to the football, right in and out of the hands of Hanna. You know he wants that one back.
Oh, they drew this up perfectly. He's coming up the seam, perfectly thrown pass, and it was nicely designed and set up. It started off with the fake bubble screen to the outside, and then a little slip seam route there. The throw was there, the protection was there, but the catch was not.
As a quarterback, and you know it was right there, you did everything you could. What are you thinking about?
Hey, forget about it.
Okay.
I mean, once it happens, you're mad all the way to the next play call. Then you got to worry about these 300-pound linemen coming after you.
3rd and 5 for Alabama State. To the outside, finds Joshua Knight, and Knight able to shake off the defender and move the chains.
Joshua Knight, good-looking young freshman from Montgomery, Alabama, playing for his hometown team. And Good recognition to realize he was on an island one-on-one with that defensive back.
12-yard pickup, and that brings the third quarter to an end. Well, check this out. Alabama A&M, they ruled this third quarter. Jordan Bentley, you go, boy. And then the interception on defense all the way around. Bulldogs are clicking.
Gotta have ice cold Coke. It ain't rocket science.
I'll drink to that.
Tuesday on ESPN, we'll have the exclusive reveal of the first college football playoff top 25 ranking of the season at 7 p.m. Eastern. Reese and the guys will break them down from top to bottom, have coaches' reactions, as well as a live interview with new committee chairman Rob Mullins. You can always catch it live on the ESPN app, literally from anywhere. Well, we know that Bama is probably going to be in there. Wouldn't you say, Jay?
I think so.
Yeah.
With LSU, resurgent LSU, Coach O has the Bayou Tigers playing pretty good football.
We were just mentioning in the break that Michigan is a top 5 team.
After they looked pretty bad opening week loss versus Notre Dame. Key drive right now here for Alabama State. I mean, just imagine if they can score and tie this ball game. Alabama A&M is going to be dreading those 2 opportunities they had to put some points on the board in the third quarter.
2nd and 13 now. Davis drops back, tries to find his man, targeting the end zone.
Offensive.
And a flag comes out.
Now, this should be offensive interference to me, if you ask me. I mean, I thought clearly that Michael Jefferson was trying to initiate contact and stop the defensive back from having an opportunity at an interception.
Covered by Joshua M. Williams.
And that's what I saw. Game speed, they're a little bit closer to the action. Let's see what the call is.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Okay.
They're calling both up. Come on, man. Offsetting pass interference calls. All right, let's take a look. Okay. I'm curious. I thought when this ball's here, see, that's 19 initiating contact.
Well, it looked like Williams
Williams had him hooked a little bit, though. That's a little hook. Yeah, okay. Okay, I see it.
But you said it.
And that's why that job is so
Kelly
tough.
And crew were closer to the action in the field, so, you know.
And I saw that. Hey, give them credit. Job well done. One of them saw what I saw. Another one saw what he saw, and I think they both were right. That tells you how tough that job is being an official. I mean,
absolutely.
You know, watching that in live speed, and then the replay shows you something completely different.
And Davis overthrows everybody out of the end zone. And it's now 3rd and 13 for Alabama State.
And that was the speed package they had out there. They told everybody 4 vertical routes, run and go get it. And Davis not able to throw an accurate ball.
So what are you looking to see as Donald Illey sees his team move the ball down the field and now faced with a 3rd and 13?
If you pick up 8 to 10 yards, it's 4-down territory.
A little late on making that decision to kind of take off from Davis there, but he did pick up perhaps just around that amount of yardage. York Bethune trips him up.
It's close enough where I think you go for it now on 4th down, a little bit too far out of field goal range. And you have to think, if you're Davis, drop back, take one read, and then take off. If the moment you see a running lane, take off, pick it up.
Fourth and 4 in the crowd. Starting to get into it now. Davis guns it right to his man. The completion made. They move the sticks. And Michael Jefferson holds on to this one.
And Jefferson, we saw him earlier with the speed and the ability to get behind defenders. Well, when you're a threat to go deep with the go route, then all you have to do is run a hitch. And they're going to give you plenty of cushion. Good job knowing where the first down marker is. Nice job by Davis knowing he's going to get hit and delivering a strike for the first down.
As you called one of those extended handoffs once again to Jefferson.
He's having a little battle over there. And we're starting to see the young freshman grow up right before our eyes, becoming a grown man out there. That's what he's telling the coach. They can't guard me one-on-one, coach. Just keep calling my number.
And are you just passing the rest of this way down here? Because they did have some success running the ball. I thought they got comfortable with Tyson Farmer. And now it looks like Alabama State will talk it over. So we'll step aside right along with them here from the old great lady here in Birmingham.
Hey, ref, can you hear me? That's the worst call I've ever seen. This is nuts.
ESPN College Football is presented by McDonald's.
It's the 77th annual Magic City Classic from Legion Field here in Birmingham. Jay Walker, Tiffany Green here with you, and taking a look at those SWAC standings. It gets more and more interesting as Alcorn takes down Prairie View A&M. It continues to get more and more interesting as the season wears on, because Alcorn is just like a Jekyll and Hyde team in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, that game between them and Jackson State end of the year, that's going to be a big one there to determine in the East. But keep in mind, Alabama State haven't played a lot of conference games, but they do hold the head-to-head with the victory over Alcorn. And the job just got a little bit easier for Southern. Now they've got a little cushion now. Their loss came to Alcorn, but Grambling got 2 losses in conference, and Prairie View A&M now has 2.
Now 3rd and 7, 15th play of this drive, but more than 6 minutes, and the intended target was Tyreek Allen, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Now, if you have faith in your kicker, you take the points here. You go for the field goal. Now, we saw him miss one earlier, but you give him an opportunity because this could come down to who's got the better special teams unit. When the game's this close, so nip and tuck.
Hunter Hansen on to attempt the 34-yard field goal. Remember, he missed one from 23 earlier. Jared Shelton with the snap, and the whistle was blown before the kick.
Delay of game.
And a delay of game against Alabama State.
Hornets.
And that backs up the Hornets 5 yards.
Coach Hill's got that look like, what is going on? But he knows what this Magic City Classic's all about. Things just never go as planned. And you always have to overcome adversity in this game, sometimes self-inflicted adversity.
So now a 39-yard attempt. Hansen has the leg and gets it through the uprights. So Alabama State tacks on 3 points as they trail by 4. Well, Donald Hill-Ely has a lot of faith in his kicker. Just a couple of years ago, back in overtime, Alabama State was able to strike first with Markel Beckwith with his 14-yarder, but then, the missed extra point. That leaves the door open for A&M's D'Angelo Ballard, and find Jonathan Dorsey for the 18-yard score, and the Bulldogs make the extra point and go on to win 42-41.
And that was an upset because Alabama State was playing really good football at that time, and Alabama A&M was struggling majorly. And I really believe, and Coach Spady, the former coach at A&M, told me, oh, I know if I didn't win that game, I'd have lost my job that year. They did buy him an extra year, and he ended up losing the job eventually, but that's how important this football game is to the folks down here in Alabama.
Yeah, you don't want to go back and not have taken down your rival. And when you think about the job that Donald Hill-Ely did with his Alabama State program last year, he inherited a program that was 0-5. He moved from assistant to the interim head coach, and he goes on to not only win the Magic City Classic, but they close out the season 5-1. So they come into the year with greater expectations this time around. Very tough schedule. This is like the 6th game they've played away from home. And yet they're in the thick of things in the SWAC East. Gary Quarles on the return. And then you go back to 2017, that was a big year because the Hornets were able to come back after Jordan Bentley finds the end zone. And then A&M trying to mount this comeback, not successful. 21-16, your final, and the Hornets will go on to win it.
And I thought Alabama A&M was a better ball club that year. So this goes back and forth. But I think over the past 10 years, and I said this earlier, I think A&M has come in here as the underdog like 8 out of the 10 years. And the series should be going one side that way, but instead it's not. It's dead even over that same time frame.
Here's Nathaniel Dell. Dell, just give him a little space. He can make some good things happen. Tiptoeing down the sideline. You're not going to catch him. Florida boy with the speed. Touchdown, Alabama A&M. $81 yards for Nathaniel Dell. Tank, as they like to call him. His 2nd score of the game.
He's a special player. We know that. So a little misdirection. They're going to sell everything going to the right side. And as they get you going with a little misdirection, thinking that this ball is going to its right, hard play action sell, come back with the left, and then you got bodies downfield. Take a look at Zabrian Moore, number 80, right here. That's the key block. Getting that block that late enables him to take it to the end zone for a touchdown.
Now, Jay, after that score, the extra point, no good. So 2010, the score here as Corey misses the extra point. Each point also important here in this rivalry game.
Hey, for a limited time, 14-ounce Delmonico. The feeling, the flavor, the place. Longhorn Steakhouse. You can't fake steak.
Let's take a look at today's Bring the Flavor, brought to you by McDonald's.
Magic City Classic!
All right, back here at Legion Field as Alabama A&M gets on the board once more. They lead by 10. And we'll quickly step aside, come back with us to Birmingham.
It's in your wallet.
Big plays have helped to define the 77th annual Magic City Classic as Alabama State now on offense, and Davis trying to go for a big play with Jeremiah Hickson on the outside. Overthrows his intended target.
You're down by 10, but not time to start chasing points yet. You don't have to be overly aggressive with your play selection in the passing game. When we saw Alabama State have success when they were moving the ball, they had the run in there, and then they also would throw the ball with the intermediate passing game, not the long ball downfield. Get the ball to Michael Jefferson. He seemed like he was having success in his one-on-one matchup on the bottom.
Instead, targeting Corker. And Wallace Corker been relatively quiet this game. He's been their most consistent wide receiver all season. So quickly now 3rd and 10 for the Hornets. From the 31-yard line. Davis over to Anderson. And Alex Anderson was brought down by the Bulldogs. And that was like something on contact that was just like, ouch, if you were on the field. Smack from Armani Holloway.
Yeah, Holloway, good football player. You know, one of the twins, as we mentioned before, very active. 63 tackles on the season to lead this Bulldog defense.
And State has been stale on 3rd downs, 0 for 5 in the second half. They punt it away as Anthony Craven with a solid punt. It'll roll.
Oh, this will be interesting. Where do they mark it?
Oh, they're calling it a touchback. There was some hope there at first.
Yeah, because in the college football game, the defender can go into the end zone as long as the ball doesn't break the plane. Yeah, good call.
Yep. 65-yarder off the
65-yard punt, only needed 64.
So Donald Hill Ely. What do you think he's talking about in those headsets right about now?
We need another stop. I need to score some points, boys. We just need points. I mean, we came in averaging 13 points. We haven't even got to our average yet. And pretty soon they're going to start running out of possessions.
Walters, who we saw busy in that first quarter, brought down by Ricky Haley.
See, something that won't show up in the stat sheet, but when you got a 400-pound nose tackle, you can try to run the ball up the middle, but look how quickly they have to bounce this thing. So you'll see him right here in the middle. Watch how quickly they have to bounce it to the outside. They've got several guys there. There's nothing there. I'm getting away from him. He saw that big white jersey. But give credit to Big Clark. He beat the double team.
Let me tell you, Clark takes up.
That's a true two-gap. They have a technique called a two-gap.
Takes a lot of space.
He's a two-gap guy.
Yeah.
He's got 2 people on him at least to occupy some space.
Not going to mess with that man. Wide load in the middle.
Look, then he makes the tackle.
Well, they say he is their run stopper. And I think even more impressive was, and you asked about it, Jay, just the stamina of a big guy like that. But you go back to that Alcorn State game, he played in 5 overtimes.
Oh, yeah, 5 overtimes. Watch it, shield him off, locate the ball carrier, then he'll go catch him and eat him up like a little snack. That's how you stop the run. I see you, big Christian Clark.
And Bentley down on the field for Alabama A&M. Remember, he had that 57-yard touchdown run that broke the tie of 7-all and put the Bulldogs up. And since then, they haven't looked back. So he's getting up under his own power. That's a good sign for the junior. Jordan Bentley, one of the heartbeat players of this team, has meant so much to this program.
Take a look, see what happens. It's a little bit of a sandwich, a little Jordan Bentley sandwich made by Christian Clark. That's what they call throwing your weight around.
I like where the jersey is stopped.
Stopped up there.
I think that's a great intimidation factor. 3rd and 4. And Alabama State spins a timeout. So both teams down to 1 timeout with 8:35 remaining in the 4th quarter. We'll step aside right along with them here from the Magic City Classic. Come back with us. 20-10, your score here. Alabama A&M on top of their in-state rival, Alabama State. And you look at the series history, the Bulldogs have led it over time, but it's been neck and neck, and over the last 10 years, it's been tied up. This one will help to set the record straight just a little bit as Akil Glass, not afraid to use his body and charging forward with his head to get that first down.
He's a big kid, 6'5", 220-pound quarterback with some pretty good mobility. Once he gets outside the pocket, gets momentum on his side, woo! That's not the proper form and etiquette you want to run the football, but just enough. Got low enough to pick up the first down. How about Alabama State that last time out?
Yeah, that was...
You're losing by 10 points in the fourth quarter. You can't afford to waste timeouts on defense.
They're at a premium right now. We saw the Bulldogs spin too early on, and strong running up ahead by Walters. Walters, who has had the hot hand the last few games. He's one of those power backs who's brought down by Christian Clark, the run stopper for the Hornets, 9-yard gain.
Now Alabama A&M starting to try and force the run, but they're doing it for a different reason. See, Alabama A&M realized the situation. We're up by 10. Don't take any unnecessary risk. If we can deflate the football a little bit by running it, keeping the ball on the ground.
Here's Walters once again. Picks up the first down. Clark also in on tackle. Looking around HBCU football, we'll first start off in the SWAC, and one score that just jumps out. We've talked about how well Grambling has played and how they've been the team out of the SWAC the last few years, but they're in a dogfight with Arkansas Pine Bluff right now in overtime.
With Pine Bluff is a struggling program. First-year head coach, they're trying to turn around, but hey, 38-38 going into overtime. You know, you hate to say it's an emotional victory, but even if they lose that football game, that's impressive for them to be able to run with the G-men like that.
You got a chance to see them down at Alcorn.
Yeah.
You know, what are your takeaways from the Tigers? Because Broderick Fobbs has done an excellent job, you know, seeing that resurgence come back from one of those blue bloods, if you will, of HBCU football. What's the status?
You better get them this year. Yeah. They're down. They lost Devontae Kincaid, Martez Carter. And they covered up a lot of the deficiencies that they had, particularly in the offensive line. But they've got some young guys that have to play now. The Grambling State Tigers, they'll be back next year. They've got some young players, and they're a good program.
And a quick look over at the BIAC with Del State picking up a big win over North Carolina Central. So I know those power rankings may change a little bit next week, as Central was one of those teams that was on the bubble.
On the bubble. I thought they were turning it around this season, but they're not. Congratulations to Rod Milstead, first victory at Delaware State, and big conference victory, so that was a good one.
And you talk about the aggressive play call of Connell Maynard early on, but he has settled into his running game with his 10-point lead, 7th play of this drive, and all of them have been rushing attempts.
And that's a good point, but I'm going to tell you, he is who he is. Now, if I'm Alabama State, I'm preparing for that pass. It's just not in his DNA. He's going to try a hard play action or a reverse or something because it's just too tempting. He's going to say, look how close they are to the line of scrimmage. They're 5 yards away. We got to be able to go deep. I told you, he's going to try it. They weren't ready for it.
They were not ready for it. Brought in by Kendrick Johnson. What, you know Connell Maynard.
He is who he is. It's just too tempting. He's going to bait you, and I'm not having fun running the ball 9 times in a row. Nice release by the tight end, Kendrick Johnson, and able to make the catch. And see, that's the thing. If Akil Glass misses his throw, then Coach Maynard's all over on the sideline. That's why I call the play to get you wide open and you don't deliver the ball, but that's just who he is. He's a gunslinger coach, and he's got a great creative mind offensively.
Well, that pass good for 19 yards and another first down for Alabama A&M. They'll go right back on the ground with Walters. And I know there's still some time left on the clock, but a win like this, what does it do for not only Alabama A&M, but also for Maynard? Because this is his first time coaching in the Magic City Classic.
Yeah, well, you realize when you take over the head job at Alabama A&M, you're hired to beat Alabama State. And if you go out there and do it, okay. But there's been a lot of enthusiasm around him in Huntsville, Alabama already. And this is just be icing on the cake. They see they've been a more competitive football team than they've been in prior years. And if they can get this victory here, that goes a long way towards keeping the locals satisfied. And I really do think this is a team that's on the upswing. They're trending in the right direction.
4 games remaining this season, with Arkansas Pine Bluff on the schedule next week on the road, and then Grambling State. And then they close out the year against Mississippi Valley State.
So when I hear that, I think all those are winnable games. I mean, it's not like the same Grambling State that scared you away, so you're going to lose.
Right.
You know? So they've got a chance to win all those winnable games.
We talked about Grambling and Pine Bluff being tied at 38 in overtime. Grambling did score rather in the overtime period. And Tion Dollard. And Dollard with an impressive run there to move the sticks and, more importantly, move the Bulldogs into the red zone.
You look at Alabama A&M, what they've done on their way to possibly getting the victory here. Pine Bluff, let's say a winnable game. Grambling this year, it's a winnable game. But going, they play Grambling at home, which helps, and then going to Mississippi Valley State, winnable game. I'm not saying they're going to win all those games because those coaches will be looking for me. But I'm just saying those are winnable games.
Currently 2-2 in the SWAC, 3-4 overall. And they could move to 500 with a win here, as Dollard, the freshman out of Lake City, is helping to move this offense forward. 11 plays on this drive. Now, Jay, right after I said that, you said Connell Maynard is true to form, so he's going to try something. He threw the pass. They picked up the first down. Outside of that, 10 rushes. Are we going with another rush here?
Yeah,
Are we rushing all the way through?
He'll do it. In this case now, you got to think about it. This is painful. Alabama State, you only got one timeout left. You've only got one left. You blew a couple of them earlier, and you have to sit there and watch the clock tick. Now, what they'll do, if a true Connell Maynard shows up, they'll run the ball, they get the ball on the 3-yard line, they'll do a bootleg from the quarterback. Oh, never mind.
Instead,
He is who he is.
Joseph Burt finds the end zone touchdown. Maynard was not satisfied with that 20 on the scoreboard. Tried to tack on more and was successful. 9-yard touchdown.
A little fake the trap, and he's going to sneak somebody out on you. That's all he did. When he sees it, he has to attack it. Sometimes he just throws the risk reward out of the playbook. He just says, we got to go get this. And they went to go get it.
Well, it's been fun to see, because you think about Alabama A&M's first score. He said, watch out for number 3, Nathaniel Dell. He's a player. He's a guy that's going to light you up. More than 200 yards and 2 touchdowns here this afternoon. He had an 81-yard score. Jordan Bentley dropped in with another big play. But how satisfying is that for the fans? Because all the smack that was talked leading up to this game.
And I'd say this is probably one of the few Magic City Classics I've done in recent memory where this thing's over with. It was over with 4 minutes to go, 4 or 5 minutes to go. And he sealed the deal. Not afraid to go with the risky play calling. And you can tell why they're getting excited in Huntsville, Alabama. And that picture right there is a painful picture for folks to see. Ryan Jenkins now on the opposite sideline. And the fans at State, they're going to say, well, wow, he can win a classic when he's at A&M, but couldn't win any classics when he was here with us. Yes, he won a couple classics, but didn't win enough to keep that job.
So the play is currently under review. That touchdown.
Did he step out of bounds?
Did he step out of bounds, or did the ball cross the plane? Because it looked like when he reached out, Joseph Burke had the ball. I thought it broke the plane. We'll hear Eddie Kelly's explanation.
Touchdown.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty clear. I thought.
Yep, ball broke the plane.
Yeah.
Got it over, possessed it, no problem. So the ruling on the field stands.
I tell all these young players all the time, you got to be careful with that reach out over the pylon, because a couple inches more and that ball hits out of bounds, and then instead of this game being clinched, it would be Alabama State ball.
And Jay, what I saw out of that drive, which I felt like was most impressive and a great sign for Alabama A&M, was, we talked about finishing and the importance of that. That drive ate up more than 8 minutes on the clock. 11 plays, and they drove 80 yards down the field. But more than 8 minutes.
They finish. That's what they want to do. And he talks about how to finish and how to compete. When they do their quarterback challenges, he makes you finish. Every throw they do it. I'll give credit where credit is due. I challenged him yesterday. We were sitting there, and he said, I'm going to hit the M in Alabama A&M University right there. He said, I'm going to hit it. I said, if I gave you 5 throws, you wouldn't hit it. Well, on the 3rd throw, he hit the U. So he hit right here. He's supposed to hit right here. Now, there's a difference there. So he thinks he won. I said, no, you hit the U. Not the M, but it's that competitive nature, and everybody was watching, and he told his guys, we're going to win. And he tells them, I'm going to be the best at everything I do, and I want you guys to come along for the ride with me. Because I'm sure he tells his coaches, those kids, I'm going to be the greatest coach in the history of the school. Y'all going to come along for the ride or you're not? Well, why wouldn't you go along for the ride? That type of attitude is contagious.
And you think the success that he had in the CIAA at Winston-Salem State and winning championships there. Now he has an opportunity to do something great here with Alabama A&M. The enthusiasm, it is so true that your leadership, whatever your leadership is doing, it trickles down. And these student athletes are excited about their new head coach. I think the same can be said on the other side for Alabama State, just having, steady leadership with Donald Healy and the prospect that he brings, and looking at their schedule. I mean, we mentioned that they've had like 6 games away from home. They haven't been there. Now they're going to be happy to get back as they host Texas Southern next weekend, and then Jackson State after that.
Texas Southern will winnable game. Jackson State, that's going to mean something. Whoever loses that game, they're out in terms of making it in the Eastern Division of the SWAT. Prairie View A&M, tough one. And then you got Mississippi Valley State, can be a winnable game there. So but then they've got to focus and put this behind them and then prepare for a much improved Jackson State football club.
And Davis brought down by Kushan. The flag is on the field. So it looks like it'll go against Alabama State.
Offense, number 58. That penalty is declined. 2nd down.
The Grambling walked away with an overtime win over Arkansas Pine Bluff. And this was an Alabama State team who came in, felt like they controlled their own destiny, needed a win here. They were focused on the next 5 games. They felt like they had an opportunity to make a run to the SWAC championship. And still season to be played, so it's not over yet. They dropped to 1-2 in the conference.
In that trail position behind very talented Alcorn squad who we saw, whom they beat, so they had the advantage in the head-to-head tiebreaker. Well, now they're going to fall a game behind. And a lot can still happen. I mean, Alcorn can lose to Jackson State last game of the year and do something. So They got to figure it, but for them, ultimately, they got to figure out how to get points on the board. This offense right here, it doesn't have any type of consistency. It's not a real threat. They feature the quarterback heavily, but besides that, missing that little spark a little bit. They're trying to get there. They've got some young guys that are going to be some good players, but.
And Corker is one of them, just a sophomore in this offense. And you think, look, Alabama State was tied with A&M 7-all at the half, and then the Bulldogs just came out and outscored them 20-3 in the second half, and they've put on some more in the fourth quarter. Another flag is down. Now, Jay, I always find this to be the most interesting, at the end of the game when you know that the game is likely settled. How quickly do you start heading for the exit to continue the party?
Holding. Offense. Number 78. 10-yard penalty. First down.
But in this instance, what's different is there's a post-game concert.
Yeah.
And so Gucci Man is about to hit the field or the stage not too long from now. And everybody's lining up to see him.
Yeah, one of the unique experiences about this game, the free post-game concert.
Who doesn't like free?
See, I thought Ludacris ripped it up a couple years ago. T.I. was good. I thought Bell Biv DeVoe was good. They always change it up for the different genres.
Yeah.
Morris Day in the time.
Defense. Number 58 with a high hit to the head on the quarterback. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Okay, Jay. A little sloppy here, man.
Yeah, it's just a little frustration. Just whop him upside the head. Your daddy used to do. I'm going to whop you upside your head, boy.
Like Coach Maynard challenged you. I'm going to challenge you really quickly. Or you challenged him, I'm going to challenge you.
Okay.
Gucci Mane.
Oh, man.
Give me one song.
Oh, come on, man.
Thought you was with it now.
I told you, I'm old school. White papers.
Okay.
So, that's like me asking you to name a song by,
He's coming for you.
Bulldogs. We're back. Not so fast. You beat Alabama State, man. Not so fast. Hey, you want to impress me, Coach Maynard? I need you to knock off Southern, Grambling, Prairie Views, all them. But good win. Enjoy it. All right, give me the biggest hit by Gucci Mane.
I don't have one.
Okay.
I don't have one, but I can tell you that he's from nearby Bessemer, Alabama.
I know he's from Bessemer, and he's hot.
And I know that he makes a lot of appearances on albums. So I think he's really good there. I can only give you his ad lib.
They're fighting. The Bulldogs.
So icy. So icy. So icy.
Okay.
So you know what? They should get Coach Maynard a chain or something. So icy after this win.
They're going to be feeling good for a while. This goes a long way for them in their program, and getting that win done your first time that's what they brought you to Huntsville, Alabama to do.
And that does it. Alabama A&M victorious 27-10 over Alabama State, and Connell Maynard wins his first career Magic City Classic, a big one for the Bulldogs. So Coach Maynard and Coach Hill Ely shake hands at midfield, and Akil Glass and company feeling all right after the Bulldogs pull out this win. Jay, your final thoughts?
Hey, one program's trending in the right direction. Alabama A&M, look out. They're going to be a force. And Alabama State, forget about this one. And don't forget you got the remainder of your schedule. You still can get back here to the WAC championship.
It was tied at 7-all at the half, and then Alabama A&M came out strong. They were barking up the right tree. Lots of fun, pageantry, fellowship, from the Magic City Classic, the 77th annual Classic in the books. For Jay, I'm Tiffany. So long.